Welcome, everyone, to the 12th episode of Some Casual Takes, a podcast hosted by me, Stephen Pepper, featuring other sports fans debating interesting topics with the most casual takes. This episode is brought to you by no one, because no one knows who we are. If my voice sounds like trash, I was out late last night, and I was screaming like crazy. So my voice is a little gone, but here with NBA expert Chris Armstrong, bro. What's up, Chris?
What up?
The villain himself, CrunchTime Tv. The villain. How you doing, Crunch? How you doing today, bro?
I'm feeling good, bro. How y'all feeling, bro?
I'm chilling. I mean, I saw the All-Star list this morning, and before we get into any debate, I just want to get your opinion on the All-Star list because there were some noticeable snubs I was seeing, bro.
Yeah, bro. I heard I think James Harden got snubbed. Man, I was surprised that Halliburton made the All-Star team, if I'm being honest. I actually like Halliburton too, but I didn't think he was really gonna make it, bro. Because I thought maybe Trey was gonna make it over him.
Trey averaging 27 a game didn't even make it.
Yeah, you go to the West. I think AD didn't make it.
Oh, yep, bro. You see him.
But
it's crazy
yeah, and they say he didn't play.
He played like 10 more minutes than 10 less minutes than Jaren Jackson and didn't make it.
You're right. That's what I'm saying. So we can't use the argument that he didn't play enough games.
Yeah.
But I still think it's gonna be a great game though, because they get to pick the team before they start, like right before they start the game. So I'm looking forward to it.
It's like James Harden, bro. I was seeing this. He's averaging 22 points, leads the league in assists with 11 on 61% true shooting. And I saw this tweet. I know it's a different era, but the only people to ever do at least 21, 11, and 61% true shooting was Magic in 89 and 90, two-time MVP, Harden in 17, second in MVP, and Harden this year, not an all-star.
Wow.
Yeah. I know the eras are different and stats are a bit inflated, but the people who've done that in history have been MVPs. Harden's not an all-star.
Yeah,
you like the Drew Holiday pick?
Nah, man, I don't like it.
Chris, what about you,
like it, bro?
I don't like it that much either. For Holiday to be an all-star, I mean, in Philadelphia, he was an all-star in 2013 because the Sixers were kind of bad. But voting this season, I think the fans that voted seriously did not pick Harden, and they picked they picked Holiday over Harden. That was a terrible decision.
I don't even think the fans voted Drew Holiday. There's no way fans collectively voted in Drew Holiday, bro.
I think the reserves.
Milwaukee.
I think coaches and media vote for the reserves, right? So if you look at their record, isn't Philly like top 4?
I think they're 4.
And then I think you gotta favor the more all-star caliber player. Like, I mean,
James Harden they're 3.
Yeah, James Harden is just simply a more star-studded player. Like, I thought
they're a game behind Milwaukee.
You're robbing Harden of some all-star appearances.
And that's on his resume, bro. I said James Harden over Allen Iverson, I said that James Harden already has the same amount of All-NBAs and was going to get the same amount of All-Stars this year. Now he doesn't have the same amount of All-Stars as Allen Iverson, bro. Like stuff like that matters.
Right.
Stuff like that matters. Can't be playing around. Like, no disrespect to Drew Holiday, bro. He plays great defense, and he held his own when Giannis was here. But Harden overall just had the better season.
Yeah. And I think Harden got better from last season, bro.
Yeah. I think he's really embracing that facilitator role, working really well with Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
But, All-Stars, that's not what we came here for, bro. I've been seeing your point guard list. That's why I really wanted to talk to you about. You got Kyrie Irving at 4, bro.
Yeah.
Before I get into it, let me just. Why do you have Kyrie at 4?
Well, I always say that Kyrie being at 4 is my most opinionated take, especially from that list. But I do think that he's top 10. And the main thing that I was trying to say to people was that he's better than Chris Paul all the time. But I have Kyrie at 4 personally because I think him and Steph are the 2 best point guards from this generation. And then when I look at stats,
you have him over Dame.
Dame. Well, I think it's Steph, Kyrie, and Dame. If you have Dame over Kyrie, I wouldn't be mad. But I'm trying to make the point that because I also have Dame top 10, but I have Kyrie. I give Kyrie the edge because of the championship. Yes, he played with LeBron, but not many small point guards average 27 in the finals. That's why I always make that point. I try to beat that point through people's head because it's still true at the end of the day. Like, you still have to look at what he did on the team. People give Kawhi Leonard his finals MVP credit when he was averaging like 16, 17 points a game.
I mean, Kyrie obviously got it. He played in that 2016 final with Irving, obviously in Cleveland. It's like, oh yeah, LeBron was the man. No, back in 2015, if you can remember, the Cavaliers were the favorites to beat the Warriors until Kyrie broke his leg or fractured his kneecap. Yeah. And Irving obviously was out. But in 2016, it was the rematch that everybody wanted all year because everyone was talking about, oh, the Warriors have the best record. Steph is the MVP. He's the best point guard in the league. Well, Steph was injured, and Kyrie literally put the NBA Finals MVP or the NBA MVP in his place. And basically, the two-time MVP has not played like the MVP, and Kyrie Irving was having 41-point game. He had a 41-point game with Bron in a do-or-die game. And then in Game 6, he was just willing the team. Him and LeBron were putting the team on his back. Game 7, we all know what Kyrie did. He hit the big shot, but LeBron obviously said in the timeout to Ty Lue, give him the ball. Give Kyrie the ball. Kyrie gets it, dribbles it up, just right there, step back, championship for Cleveland, obviously.
Bro, he did a sidestep 3 over top of Stephen Curry, bro.
Yeah, and then he said, oh, it's the mentality. Obviously, Kobe and Kyrie had a great friendship. And Kobe was the one who said, take those big shots. If the ball's in your hands, take them. And Kyrie's not afraid of anybody. He doesn't back down to no one. I mean, you saw him calling out Kobe at Team USA. You know about that? Kyrie actually called out Kobe in a Team USA scrimmage.
Right.
As a rookie, I mean, in his second year, he was like, I'm not really, me and you, one-on-one, let's go. And then he called out Kobe. And then Kobe obviously wasn't even afraid of the challenge.
Yeah. That was after Kyrie's rookie season, the summer after Kyrie's rookie season. And I want to make this clear. I'm not trying to say that Kyrie was the best player on that Cavs team. I'm just trying to point out the fact that Kyrie has been trying to show us how good that he is, but nobody wants to listen. Nobody believes that he's that good, even though he's gotten better ever since he left LeBron. And if you think about it, bro, after 2016, Kyrie Irving and Stephen Curry both only had one championship. So they make it seem like Steph was just so far and away better than Kyrie now. He's obviously over him all the time. I actually have Steph number 1 for the point guard.
Yeah, Steph also had 2 MVPs in all NBA first teams.
Yeah, he did.
And people would always question. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
People would always question Kyrie about his antics and about the off the court stuff. Like just recently this year, you had the suspension when he got suspended because of some stuff that he was doing with the whole Jewish thing with Kanye and everything. And then his attitude was another question because over the years, people have always questioned Kyrie and about, is he a basketball player? Is he going to just play basketball or is he too distracted with everything else going around the world? Because last season, there are points like in Boston. People in Boston don't like Kyrie because of his decision. If you can remember when he said at the press conference, hey, I'm going to re-sign here. But things went sideways, if you can remember, and he goes to Brooklyn. When he returns to Boston, everyone hates on him and says Kyrie sucks, or they're booing him, obviously, and he doesn't care. In Cleveland, the same thing. He told one Cap fan at a game, LeBron brought you a championship, and Kyrie said, I brought a title to Cleveland. Be effing grateful. That's what he said to a fan, and he put the fan in his place. So, obviously,
I was about to say, yeah, Steph, that's a good point what you made. But bro, so you brought up and what's your name, bro?
Chris.
I was talking about the host because I know you as casual too.
Steve, that's Steven.
All right, Steven. Oh, that's tough. It's my uncle's name. But so yeah, so you brought up Steph having the 2 MVPs, but you still gotta remember that Kyrie actually, if you think about it, he started off his career better than the first few years. Kyrie had a better start to his career than Steph. So in 2011, 2012, he was rookie of the year. Steph didn't get that. I'm just nitpicking here, but I'm saying, like Steph didn't get that. Kyrie was also
2011,
All-Star.
Kyrie was better than Steph.
Yeah,
because Steph was injured.
Oh
no, but still,
in 2012, Kyrie was an All-Star. He was an All-Star before Steph.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was All-Star game MVP the season that Steph did make the All-Star team. And then that same summer, Kyrie won the FIBA MVP. And I always got to put in the context of how how accomplished Kyrie actually was becoming as an individual player before Steph won the MVP. But the season that Steph won the MVP first, LeBron James came back to Kyrie's team. This is before they had a chance to build anything around Kyrie. Remember they drafted Andrew Wiggins to play with Kyrie. But then LeBron James traded away Andrew Wiggins and came back and then brought in Kevin Love. So now it's all about
and Bennett.
y'all.
Let's not forget.
So Kyrie, hold on. So Kyrie had the pressure of having to make it work that first season. They went to the finals that first season, but you look at the numbers, is like Kyrie's numbers were still similar to Steph's that season when Steph won the MVP. You know.
But I'm saying, like, right, you said after 2016, like after that final, how big is the gap between, or how small is the gap between Kyrie and Steph?
But that's my point. All right, so look, let's say, so when KD came back and won those 2 rings, Steph now has 2 rings extra. Well, he has 2 more rings, so his resume is getting bigger because of the move that the Warriors made. But now you have to ask yourself, what if the Cavs just would have won? Kyrie would have been ranked higher than Steph. But
I disagree. I disagree.
I'm saying because now Kyrie would have had 3 rings. I'm saying, like, if let's say Kyrie would have stayed in Cleveland and they would have won more than Steph, you can make an argument for Kyrie. You know what I mean? The argument would have been different. But people still say that Steph is better than Kyrie, but they don't admit that KD may have been better than LeBron those few years. So it's inconsistent. You know what I mean? It's 2 different takes, but it's still inconsistency there. You know what I mean?
I get what you're trying to say. Like, if Kyrie would have had more rings, but it still didn't take away the fact that still at that time, Steph was a 2-time MVP. He had more All-NBA first teams. He was the 50-40-90 club unanimous MVP, 3-point shooting champ, steals champ. Like, he had more on his resume outside of rings.
For one, Kyrie was a 3-point shooting champ before Steph. But I was gonna say, remember the original question was, why is Kyrie 4? I mean, I got Steph over Kyrie all the time because of his accomplishments at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And I just think when you go down the list, not many people did what Kyrie did. Especially if you look at the rest of Kyrie's numbers for his whole career, it's pretty consistent. Plus 20 for going on a long time now. His numbers are increasing every single season. And so you look at skill set. I think him and Steph are the best from this generation. Kyrie has the championship. He has the second finals appearance where he averaged 30 in the finals. Well, actually, that was his 3rd finals appearance. But I mean, bro, he's just been a consistent player. Just that he just hasn't had an organization built around him. He's always had to ingratiate himself onto a team like Boston. That team wasn't built around him, but he still made it work. They were still number 1 seed until he went down and they dropped to the 2nd seed, which is actually the real context that people need as to when they say, Boston was better without him. Well, actually, they dropped down in seeding after Kyrie got hurt.
And Gordon Hayward.
Then he lost in the 2nd round. Hold on. The 2nd season in Boston, he lost in the 2nd round. Everybody rips him for that, but then they talk about how Scottie led the Bulls to the 2nd round. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of inconsistencies, man. I just think the reason why people get surprised at my list about Kyrie is because they have certain misconceptions that they, because there's holes in their debates. There's holes in their arguments.
But how can you have Kyrie 4 when he only has 3 All-NBAs and 1 All-Second team?
Because not all of those players had LeBron James come back to their team. That affects that. Not all of those players were as injury prone as Kyrie. But remember, Kyrie got injured in the finals messing with LeBron James. If LeBron doesn't come back to his team, maybe Kyrie doesn't have that injury in the finals. Because everybody says, oh, they don't go to the finals, right, without LeBron. All right, so he wouldn't have that injury then. And then LeBron's not on his team also, so maybe he does have more All-NBAs. Maybe if you don't trade Andrew Wiggins and they build around Kyrie for the next few years and he leads them to the playoff a few seasons, of course he's going to have All-NBAs. Of course he's going to be in conversations for MVP now, depending on how good his team becomes.
He doesn't. And it's like,
even
if he did, he wouldn't be an All-NBA.
You said he doesn't, you said he doesn't, but then name me how many other point guards average 27 in the finals. I can say they didn't do that. I can say they aren't as skilled as Kyrie.
Yo, talent-wise, yeah, but I'm talking about just like overall best. Talent-wise, yeah. But I mean, if you're just going to look straight off scoring as like your only argument for Kyrie, I mean,
it's not scoring.
It is scoring.
Yeah, Kyrie. I mean, when you talk about the Celtics,
think about it. Steph. That's why people call Steph a 2-guard now. Steph isn't necessarily a playmaker. Kyrie still averaged 5 assists. Like, it's not like, bro, the numbers are what they are. You know, it's just because you're not pass first doesn't mean that you can't necessarily be considered better. I think Kyrie Irving is more of a combo guard, but that shouldn't eliminate you. you know, because he still has accomplished what he's accomplished. But then when I talk about certain things that he accomplished, they say, "Oh, well, that doesn't matter." They say FIBA MVP doesn't matter.
It really doesn't, though.
So all right, so let me ask you a question, bro.
The
If
FIBA
it doesn't
MVP.
matter, if FIBA doesn't matter, why do they play it?
For Team USA.
Right, so it matters.
Not on NBA resumes. It don't matter on an NBA resume.
Oh my gosh, bro.
That's not on an NBA resume.
Bro,
FIBA does not matter on an NBA
with
resume.
NBA players on the team. So Steph was on the team, Harden was on the team, Anthony Davis was on the team.
Is it in the NBA?
Had Boogie Cousins.
Is it an NBA
all
season?
Those guys are in the NBA.
Is it in the NBA season though?
Man, y'all nitpicking. What I'm doing is I'm putting it into perspective how good you are, so you can use that as context for how good overall best, like you said, right? Overall best. You can use that as context for how good you are, how good you have to be to win that. You have to be one of the best players in the NBA.
Yeah. Look, can I ask you something? How many teams are there in the NBA?
30.
Yeah. Which one's FIBA?
No, bro. Like you just literally everything I said went in one ear and out the other.
No, I get what you're saying, but
you use that as the context.
Bro, that's
no,
that's not.
This is my point, right? It's not because sometimes, for example, when I say that it was even in 2017 finals, I'm talking about from a basketball standpoint, ability standpoint. When I bring up FIBA MVP, I'm using that to talk about Kyrie's ability. So it's still the same player, and the production is there. The numbers match it. Like it's not way off. Is what I'm saying to you. So I'm using that to say that he has to be neck and neck at least with Stephen Curry if you're able to win the FIBA MVP.
Yeah, but like
if you're able to hit that shot over him in the finals, that average 27 in the finals, you have to.
Your argument Kyrie is like a talent argument. It isn't like overall.
But your resume doesn't matter in the finals, though.
No, but when we rank players all time, we look at their resume. You're doing for Kyrie, you're just putting him up there because of talent.
No. He has certain things on his resume as well. Like I said, Rookie of the Year, All-Star Game MVP, multiple, a perennial All-Star starter, except for the season that he was injured. He's led the team in. So you can check that box off. They didn't win a championship, but he still led the team, right? Because look, if Scottie led the Bulls without Jordan, then Kyrie led Boston without LeBron. So that's that. And he has a championship. He didn't win Finals MVP, but he played better in the finals than Kawhi Leonard played in the finals with the Spurs. So you can give him credit, like
scoring,
you know what I mean. But people
scoring wise, yeah.
Scoring wise, overall performance, clutch moments, everything, bro. Like Kyrie is just a scorer. Like Kyrie's a scorer compared to Kawhi, who wasn't necessarily a scorer. But just because you're not a scorer, it doesn't mean that it just amounts to you're being a better player. Like it just doesn't. You're just better at other things. Kyrie is better at certain things that Kawhi wasn't great at. So, I mean, what are we talking about? You know,
the years after he played with LeBron, he has one All-NBA second team and one All-NBA third team. Okay, now I know a couple years he was hurt, and they had that one like COVID vaccine thing he didn't play, so he wasn't going to get an award.
Yeah, he didn't play at all because of that. That was the kicker for Brooklyn last year.
I think he's going to get an All-NBA this year. I'm pretty sure. I don't know how
he is.
You got to remember though. Now you just have to.
It's probably going to be a third team though. He's probably just going to.
But now you have to simply ask yourself: has he been getting better every season, regardless? Because that's the context. So the first season after LeBron James, I just told you he was averaging 24 points a game and led Boston to the number 1 seed with a rookie Jason Tatum, and then he got hurt after the All-Star break. So you might say, oh, he didn't win All NBA. I don't know if he's All NBA that season, but then he was All NBA the season after that. So he's like, but he didn't necessarily get better the second season. You know what I mean? He's still Kyrie. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then you go to Brooklyn. Like I said, he was injured the first season just like KD was injured. He came back. He played more games than Harden and KD played in 2021 on the Nets and shot 50, 40, 90 and led Brooklyn to the second seed. And then you go to the season after that, and they didn't even let him play. So that's not like that. That's what I mean. So if this certain things you can't control, you know what I mean. But we still got Kawhi ranked high all time, even though he barely plays at all.
But Kawhi accomplished a lot more than Kyrie.
But that's my point.
Yeah,
I just told you
because in San Antonio.
Go ahead.
Let me say something with San Antonio. That's a different story because Kawhi came in there when the trade happened for Hill to Indiana, and that would have been that's a what if statement because someone said, what if Kawhi was with Indiana with Paul George? Like, will we have it now at the Clippers? Well, Kawhi was with the Spurs. we know how the Spurs are because of the Hall of Famers they've had with Duncan, Parker, Ginobili, and David Robinson and Pop. He came in their rookie year, got some minutes. He gradually started to increase a little bit. His second season played phenomenal in the finals, even though he missed the free throws. But 2013-14, we saw a different level of Kawhi Leonard as play. Like he was guarding Kevin Durant in the playoffs in that Spurs and Thunder series. But the 2014 playoffs, he was guarding Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavericks. He was guarding Dame Lillard and the Blazers. Then you go up against Kevin Durant, which is the rematch from 2012. Then you're meeting up with the big three Miami Heat. And that's when Kawhi turned it up in the finals. And there was a moment where you saw Popovich in the timeout walk up and just push Kawhi and telling him, you're doing a lot of good things on the offensive end and the defensive end. And he's up in Kawhi's face in a practice. There's a video of the Spurs championship, and he told them, tonight you're going to be playing, you're going to get your minutes increased, and you're definitely going to be guarding LeBron and everybody. Wade, Bosh. I mean, he played well in that finals game in game 4. Game 5, he played out of his mind, got finals MVP. And we know Kawhi Leonard, how he is on the defensive end and on the offensive end too.
Can I ask you something? Did he play better than LeBron James that finals?
He did on defense. He was he was up in his.
I'm saying, do you think he was a better player than LeBron James in the finals?
Who, Kawhi?
Yeah.
And what year? Because there's 2 years where he's in the finals.
You can go both of those years.
I gotta say, yeah. In 2014, he was phenomenal. He was up in his face, and LeBron was just not. I mean, Kawhi was like this. Kawhi was just up in LeBron's grill all game long, not even giving him any air room.
I actually didn't think you were going to say that.
Are we saying that Kawhi was better than LeBron in that series?
In 2014?
Yeah.
I'm not going to discredit LeBron, but that Heat team was not good at all. And the Spurs literally steamrolled them in 5 games.
Hey, bro, the Miami Heat beat the Spurs the year before that.
Yeah, and people said, we're getting a rematch. Like, we're going to – I mean, Miami was different because people were like, we're going to get a rematch. The Heat are going to beat the – no, Miami's different because the Heat have a lot of different guys. They had Greg Oden and Michael Beasley, and they made a trade for some guy named Douglas, but – one key player that the Heat missed the most in 2014 was Mike Miller. I mean, people said Miller's not.
So that's the main. So Mike Miller is the reason why they lost in 2015.
No, the reason why they lost
in 2014. I mean,
the reason why they lost in 2014 is actually 2 reasons. Number one, that 2014 Spurs team was OP. It's when
they wanted revenge. They wanted to get their redemption against the Heat.
But I'm asking y'all though, wasn't that the same team as the year before, except they got older?
No, they didn't get. They lost a couple of players. Like, I mean, they traded away. I mean, the Spurs, they did make trades. They got some new guys. Like, they got Bellinelli, and some other foreign player. I don't remember who else they got, but they got a lot of new. They got a couple of guys on the team.
This is the point.
But the Spurs. The Spurs look different.
When I asked if Kawhi was better than LeBron that series, my point was. Go ahead.
I think the Spurs were a bit better the following season. I don't know what the record was, but I do know that I think the Spurs were actually favored to win that 2014 final series. I think Kawhi got a bit better. And then when you look at it's mostly I don't think it was mostly just a huge jump in San Antonio. I do think they did get better, but it was more of just Miami. I mean, you saw Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade. They got outplayed by Boris Diaw, Patty Mills.
So, all right,
Dwayne Wade's knee blew out. He didn't look like the same player. I think how much points
he still averaged? He still averaged. I mean, 14.
Like 16.
I seen Kobe beat the Spurs in 08 when Pau Gasol averaged 13. But that's neither.
Yeah, but the Spurs team's better. That 2014 Spurs team was the best Spurs team.
07, hold on, the 07 Spurs, the 08 Spurs was a defending champion.
No, but this is the better. This team I think was better.
I don't know, man. Younger Tim Duncan. You might be right though. But look, this is my point in asking if Kawhi played better than LeBron James.
I'm gonna say LeBron. I'm not gonna pick Kawhi over LeBron because Kawhi obviously had a slow start to the finals.
The Spurs in 2014 had way better shooters than they did in 08.
Yeah,
Green was shooting at like 40-50% from 3 that series, bro.
I'm about to ask.
To see Dwayne Wade's exact numbers.
I was about to ask though. So So did Kyrie play better than Steph in 2016 in the finals?
I gotta agree with that too, because Steph looked so terrible in the finals in 16 because people would always say, well, the Warriors had the best record. I mean, the problem was in 2015-16 when Golden State they had the 73 wins. I said in the playoffs, before the playoffs started, somebody was like, oh, LeBron's old. Why are they resting him? No, because when the playoffs roll around, you're going to be playing a lot of minutes and you're going to be dead tired. The Warriors did not use that to their advantage to get to the finals. I mean, in the season.
Yeah, like, because I see what you're saying, but my main thing is that because bro said that Steven said that, you know, Kawhi has more accomplishments than Kyrie at the end of the day. But I'm saying I think we're overlooking what Kyrie did because I just explained how he played better than Kawhi played in the finals because Kawhi didn't play against the best. He didn't play better than the best player on the other team, but Kyrie did play better than the best player on the other team. And Kyrie was the second option to LeBron. And Kyrie was the second option to LeBron James.
Don't forget about 2019 too, bro.
Yeah, 2019 he lost in the second round. Is that really
for Kawhi?
Oh yeah. No.
They beat Orlando.
But that's my point. I'm saying outside of that championship, he hasn't played as much either. You know what I mean? So
I mean, yeah, but also 2017, I mean, dude was what, third in MVP voting. When can Kyrie claim he was top 3 in MVP voting? I think Kawhi is what, like 3? How many All NBA first teams he has? I think it's like 3.
Except Zaza Pachulia took that away from him in 2017.
The Warriors too.
Zaza.
There you go. My bad.
Until Zaza Pachulia ruined an opportunity for them to take down the Warriors because I won in 2016.
Yeah, Kawhi's got 3 All NBA first teams. I don't see where Kyrie has any of that. And even like going back to like just point guards, I mean we're kind of getting off the 2014 Heat, but like I can't put Kyrie over Chris Paul. I mean, when you look at Chris Paul's resume, Chris Paul, I mean, 4 All NBA first teams. Kyrie only has 1 second team. I get that he played behind LeBron, but dude only got 1 All NBA team when he was playing with LeBron. Only 1.
So why don't you look at it all?
I mean, you only play 50 games.
So I mean, can't we flip flop all day? But I'm saying, can't we flip flop all day? I can just hit you with Kyrie has a championship.
Yeah,
you know, so people want to dance around championships, but I don't understand that. I mean, and then if you look at his numbers, like
Kyrie Ball, but we're just talking about the best. Who's better?
We're talking about who's better. And
in a world, Chris Paul played with LeBron James. I don't want to have
what would have happened because we don't know what would have happened.
I don't think that's ever going to happen. CP3 playing with LeBron on a team together. I don't think that's ever going to happen.
I don't think it would have worked, but I'm just saying we had to keep it to like who's the better player. I mean, you love that 2014 Kyrie. You love that All-Star game MVP from Kyrie, bro. Who won the year before?
Chris Paul has one.
Chris Paul,
bro. When you're talking about who's better,
you love the rookie of the year. You love the rookie of the year for Kyrie.
You're saying
Chris Paul has a rookie of the year. Chris Paul, 12-time All-Star. I know he played longer, so we don't do All-Star. He has 4 All NBA first teams. There is not one that says Kyrie Irving next to his page.
When we're talking about
how many all defensive teams does Kyrie have? How many all defenses does Kyrie have?
When we're talking about who's better, you're not supposed to talk about resume. You have to talk about footage and on the court basketball skills.
Yes, but this is helping this skill set. I mean, Kyrie is a better scorer, but who's a better passer?
All right, hold on. You have to break down.
Chris Paul is one of the greatest point guards to ever pass the ball.
You have to break down scoring though.
5-time assist leader, bro.
No, you have to break down scoring by skill set.
No, Kyrie beats him in scoring in all 3 levels.
No. It's a lot of skill sets that will put Kyrie's argument, make Kyrie's argument stronger.
I'll give you right. Kyrie, better finisher, better mid-range, better three-point shooter, better efficient scorer. Kyrie is the 40-50.
He has better handles.
Kyrie has a better handle, but
he has a better post game.
I won't make it sound like it's drastic because Chris Paul handle isn't terrible.
No,
Chris Paul isn't a terrible
He has a better
scorer.
post game. He has a better post game. He has more footwork than Chris Paul. He's faster than Chris Paul.
You see, but you're just looking at offensive bag. I'm doing all around.
Yeah, no, I'm doing everything. See, there it is.
Who's the better?
They don't want to talk about that.
Who's the better passer, bro? Who's the better passer, bro?
Hold but that's the problem. I'm saying we didn't finish with scoring.
How many?
I'm saying we didn't finish with scoring. Let me break it down for you, bro.
All right.
Kyrie has better handles. Okay. He's a better finisher. He has a better post game. He has more footwork. To me, his IQ is up there with Chris Paul, but that's not there.
Okay. We saw the Earth is flat thing, but all right.
Yeah, and he went downhill and he hit two game winners in that year against Golden State. One on the championship and then the other one on Christmas Day. Let's not forget that little brings the ball up, spins.
He's more clutch than Chris Paul. He's more clutch than Chris Paul.
Okay.
He's a better 3-point shooter. He has more moves than Chris Paul. He's strong. To me, he's stronger than Chris Paul.
Oh my! You see what you're doing? You're breaking down offensive bag into tiny pieces, so it can seem like you got like 20 things.
Because you have to use these skills when you're playing basketball.
I know, but what you're trying to do is to make it look like Kyrie has like 50 things over Chris Paul.
He damn near does,
down
bro. Because he damn near does.
Tiny pieces.
Because y'all don't want. Because that's what your bag is. You break it down, but then listen, Chris Paul.
No one's arguing
that Kyrie has.
But that's my point.
No one's arguing that Kyrie doesn't have a better bag than Chris Paul.
Y'all don't want to use that. Hold on, go.
I'm just saying, like, Kyrie's bag, yes, it's better than Chris Paul, but you can't break down bag into 30 different things. So it looks like Kyrie has 30 million things.
No, but that's my point, bro. You had that's something that you can do, but people don't want to do that because Chris Paul can't beat Kyrie in that department. But
yes, so that's just scoring.
Y'all trying to make it unfair by trying to take away Kyrie's strengths.
Yeah,
so
scoring.
That's my point. No. So then passing, yes, Chris Paul is better. My whole thing with Chris Paul is this. Chris Paul was never really the best point guard in the NBA for that long. Hold on. For that long. And then when he was the best point guard in the NBA, the talent pool of point guards back then was way worse than it is now. So nowadays, you don't have to be the best point guard in the whole NBA to be better than Chris Paul, if that makes sense. I think there are multiple point guards nowadays better than Chris Paul in his prime. So I think Dame is better than Chris Paul in his prime. I think Russ. I'm
not giving you Dame.
I'm going Dame. I think Russ is a better point guard than Chris Paul. I think Steph is better than Chris Paul also. And Kyrie, my argument is Kyrie.
Steph,
my argument is Kyrie, Steph. But we don't know if Kyrie would have been the best point guard in the NBA or not. Back during the time when Chris Paul was the best point guard in the NBA. We don't know because they were arguing Darren Williams and Chris Paul. I don't think Chris Paul was better than Gilbert Arenas in his prime because
better than Gilbert, bro.
No, listen, because Chris Paul was a rookie and a second year player those years when Gilbert Arenas was averaging 30. So he at the time, and then Gilbert Arenas got hurt. So 07, 08, that's when Chris Paul turned the corner, and that was really his best season.
But like I said, how many defensive teams has your boy got?
My bro, Chris Paul has the all defensive teams. He has a lot of those. He has all NBA. His resume in that department is better, but then the championship to me is weighted more heavily than some of those things. You know what I'm saying? When I talk about LeBron and Jordan, I don't really necessarily bring up NBAs. You know how good they are as players, and then you look at championships. For the most part, you know what I mean? You don't start to go into all NBA until you break it down piece by piece. But we know that LeBron played more than Jordan. I mean, played longer than Jordan. Kyrie's still not even finished yet. You know? So if Kyrie was to win another ring in Brooklyn, it's going to really look scary for Chris Paul. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but like I want to focus on the individual accomplishments of these players. And I do get your point, though. I do think from 08 to 2014, when Chris Paul was the best player for most of those years. I mean, I'll give Derrick Rose 1 year in 2011. But outside that, Chris Paul was the best player in the league.
I think Derrick Rose had years, but yeah.
I only give him the MVP season, but because Chris Paul was still getting first teams in that era. But I mean, outside of that, like I do get what you're saying. Today, the point guard pool is a lot better. It was kind of like a slow period. Like who are you competing with? Darren Williams, bro? Is your comp?
Yeah,
bad comp. But you still have to give credit that Chris Paul was the best player. I mean, he had stuff to show for it, though. I mean. He still had his all defensives. He was still leading the league in assists. He's still doing all that, taking his team to the playoffs, taking the Clippers to multiple 50 straight, taking a losing Clippers team, losing franchise to 50 straight seasons year after year. A losing Hornets team to 50-win teams year after year. So, as a leader, can Kyrie Irving claim that he was top 5 in MVP voting?
I gotta say, yeah.
Hold on, that's my point. No, well. You can say no, but then you literally have to put context on it because, again, Kyrie Irving had the situation of LeBron coming to his team, and then when Kyrie left LeBron, now he has a stigma on him. The guys don't want to vote for him for MVP. Because like I said, bro, when he was first in the East in Boston, they went on a 16-game winning streak. He was the most
Let's not
exciting,
forget. Let's not forget
electrifying
when he
player in the
got to
NBA.
Boston. You're
Why
forgetting about something from Boston. When he came there and they had the number 1 seed, they lost somebody, and I'm going to mention Hayward due to a broken leg. Let's not forget Hayward broke his ankle in the first game of the season, and they went on that winning streak. Kyrie,
so you're extremely valuable, but since they don't like you because this is after you left LeBron James, they don't like you now. You already said the earth was flat. They hate you, so they're not gonna vote for you, bro. It's literally that simple. Because there's no reason why he shouldn't be top 5 or at least just somewhere in the conversation. If you're the most electrifying player in the NBA and you're the most valuable player on that team, because Gordon Hayward went down and Jason Tatum was a rookie who was only averaging 13 points a game. So
and that was hard for Boston.
I look at context, bro. And then that team lost in the second round, just like how Scotty did. But Scotty was top 5 in MVP voting. And
not the same though. Scottie Pippen didn't get walked down 4-1.
It's cool.
He lost in
second round. It's
lost
cool.
in 7 though. It's different. He didn't get walked down. He didn't underperform like crazy.
Oh man, but then when I bring
up, hold
on
bro,
LeBron,
how many points?
But then when I bring up when LeBron underperformed, it doesn't matter. Even though it was other guys on his team playing better than him in the finals. I know this is apples and oranges, but I just try to stay on the same logic. Now look, Kyrie did play bad that series. He averaged 22 points a game. He averaged 22 points a game. You know, but my whole point is this: we've seen other players do that before. It's not the end of the world, bro. You know, it's not the end of the world just because he lost in the second round. But honestly, the real thing about Chris Paul,
you know who also averaged 22 points a game, bro?
Cool.
Scottie Pippen.
Right. Same thing. But I mean, it's true though. I mean, he didn't get walked down. He is better on defense, better at all around things of that nature. But the thing, because remember I did say, Kyrie is my most opinionated take because I am just a Kyrie fan. I just think my arguments are strong. It places him at 4 because of my criteria. But the thing about Chris Paul, bro, is that I put him on the range of Steve Nash, Jason Kidd, and Stockton. But I just think he's below those guys, and so they're kind of lower on my top 10. So it pushes Chris Paul out of the top 10. So, because for example, I put Jason Kidd over Chris Paul because we've seen him lead that Nets team to the finals back-to-back seasons, and he only lost to Shaq and Kobe and then Tim Duncan. And this is without Vince Carter.
The East was extremely weak, though. You can't lie. The East was extremely weak.
I know, but I still just have to go with what happened, because now I can say, he would have had a ring.
And I have to go what happened with Kyrie. I have to go that he teamed up with LeBron. I can't make up these what ifs.
No, he didn't. Hold on, he didn't team up with LeBron. LeBron teamed up with Kyrie.
My bad. LeBron teamed up with him. My bad.
Yeah, LeBron with the Kyrie's team.
And you're also talking about the league don't want to vote Kyrie. I mean, I don't think that's true. When Kyrie was All-NBA second team on that 2019 Celtics team that went to the second round, Kyrie Irving wasn't even top 10 in MVP.
Because the MVP is a narrative-based award. All-NBA is narrative. It's just production. And like I said, that's why I said the main season where he wasn't All-NBA was injury riddled. Season where he was injured, which he started getting injured mainly. Well, he was injured early on in his career, but then he got injured because he played with LeBron in the finals, and then he missed half of the next season. So your All-NBA is damaged. You're
the 1 seed going on 2 seed. Kyrie didn't even get a single MVP vote.
That's what I'm saying, because he had already left LeBron. Which the criteria doesn't say the same because, like I said, he lost Gordon Hayward. Any other player would get MVP votes off of that because you're extremely valuable, especially because Tatum was a rookie. And they were in the number 1 seed.
It wasn't just Jason Tatum, though. It was Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown was
Marcus Smart.
Jaylen Brown was in his second season.
Terry Rozier.
These guys were not. These guys.
Al
these guys
Horford.
Were all averaging 14. These guys were all averaging 14 points and below.
Aaron Baines.
Say what you want about that team, bro. Say what you want about. They didn't have Gordon Hayward. They didn't have Kyrie. They still went to the conference finals. They still beat Milwaukee.
Because that team. They were still a deep team, though. They were still a deep
team. Extremely deep, yes.
But remember, the East was different at that point. Milwaukee was the 7th seed. Yeah. This before Milwaukee took that lead. Philly, they used to spank Philly. Kyrie spanked them on Christmas when he came back.
Okay, but they didn't have Kyrie this time. They spanked him. Didn't they 5-4-1 them?
But I'm
saying, yeah, they did.
Yeah.
4-1
without Kyrie.
Simmons was a rookie, and then watch this though. So Kyrie came back and spanked Philly, bro. Embiid has already said that Kyrie and Boston used to always spank Philly, whoop Philly, bro. Kyrie came back and whooped Philly on Christmas. He dropped 40 points and hit.
Yeah, but
It
Kyrie's
was
not
extremely
there.
clutch.
This is
But
no
I'm saying
Kyrie,
we
no
seen
Gordon
what he would have
Hayward.
done. But I'm saying we seen what he would have done against Philly.
That same team that you give him credit for leading, him being so valuable for them being the 1 seed, then they drop to the 2 seed, and they still go to the conference finals.
They still go to the conference. They were supposed to. They were still the deepest team. They still had a deep roster. And my point is this: people picked them to go to. No, but look, they were.
I mean, if they had Kyrie, they would have went to the finals.
Right. Thank you.
But they still got. But they were picked to go.
Finals. They were picked to go to the finals because Kyrie gave them a home court advantage. They were picked to go to the finals. And so the fact that they only went to the conference finals without Kyrie shows that they underachieved without Kyrie because they didn't maximize.
They overachieved without Kyrie.
No. I'm saying they did what they were supposed. Like, bro, they didn't go where they were supposed to go because Kyrie wasn't there. I think they were still the deepest team in the East at that point, even without Kyrie, because
they were the deepest team. Because in 2017 to 18, let's not forget the 2017-18 NBA playoffs were a completely different ball game. It was the Raptors were number 1. In the East. And then it was Boston. Then you have Indiana. Then Cleveland. The Miami Heat.
You missed Philly.
Philly was on that roster, was top. Of course, you had Cleveland. Then you had Indiana, Miami, and then Milwaukee. The first round of that series, when they played against Milwaukee, it was the Terry Rozier show because Terry was giving it to Eric Bledsoe. And, of course, Marcus Smart, he was out for a couple of games because of a thumb injury. He comes back. They go to a game 7. Obviously, they go play Philadelphia. Philly has Embiid, Simmons, who's in his rookie year. Simmons did not play well in that series, and they went to overtime. Philly would win 1 game. The next game, Boston will close them out. And then they go play against the Cleveland Cavaliers with LeBron and Kevin Love and whoever else is on that team. And who wasn't playing in that series? Kyrie and Gordon Hayward weren't. And it went to a game 7. And Cleveland would beat them in a game 7. And Kyrie didn't play and Hayward didn't play. But it gave a lot of motivation to all the Celtic players who said losing in game 7 to Cleveland hurts. We want to get to the final. And we had a good shot of getting there even without 2 of our best players.
Right. And I always forget Gordon Hayward wasn't there too. I always forget that, bro.
Because what happened next year, bro?
Yeah, and he lost in the second round, bro.
And he didn't even look right because when Gordon came back, I could tell because when someone has an injury horrific like that, are they really physically in a good headspace? No, Gordon was not in a good headspace because he said, when I first started off 2018 to 19, I was hesitant. I wasn't shooting the ball that well. There were some games where it was like, because he said it's like a hurdle. And in Boston, he even said the injury changed my career. And literally he didn't have a good year in 2018 to 19. He did play well, but his numbers weren't showing it. 2019 to 20, he played okay-ish, and then he's in Charlotte now. But that's how good Boston was. I mean, they went on that winning streak. And let's not forget the coach, Brad Stevens. He actually made a lot of lineup changes in and out of the season. With Kyrie getting hurt, you had Rozier starting. When Smart got hurt, you had Jaylen Brown shifting at its power at the small forward. I mean, the one position at shooting guard, and you had Marcus Morris starting. And then you have Aaron Baines and Al Horford swapping or having to switch in and out because Horford would start, Baines would start, or someone else comes off the bench. Yeah, but so that bench was deep. That team was deep.
Nah, so Crunch, bro. Like, I'm just looking at this, bro. So, will they went to the finals if they were healthy? Yeah. But you had the chance to run it back next year. And you win game 1 in the second round by 30 points. You have Paul Pierce and all of them on ESPN. I remember this going after the game.
They said it was over.
Declaring the series over. Yeah. Declaring the series over. And then what happened, bro? Where's your guy Kyrie at, bro?
No, listen, bro. Let me tell you something about this, right?
I see 20 points, bro. As best player on the team? Crazy. 35%? 21 from 3?
Let me ask you a question, bro. How many times has Chris Paul lost in the second round?
A lot.
And then this is the main question. This is the kicker right here. Do you have Russ over Kyrie all time?
Yes. Because Russ is an MVP.
So after KD left, how many times has Russ made it past the first round?
Not a lot. In 2020 he did with Harden, but they got dismantled by a championship-hungry Lakers squad. Let's not forget he was in Houston, and that Lakers team.
Paul in the first round. But OKC, he lost in the first round all those times. So that's my point. So now we're talking about Kyrie, who we're crushing him for losing in the second round. Yes, he got walked down, but I mean, bro, like, so that's my point. Why do people get mad when we bring up all the times LeBron got walked down? Why do people get mad?
Why do people get? I don't know, bro. Maybe we should explain how you got swept by Boston when you guys had KD.
Yeah, bro, no, like, bro, no, time out. You're not hearing me now, bro. Now you're shifting. But
that 4-game sweep last year.
Hold on. Matter of fact, I'm actually glad you brought that up because Kyrie's the one that dropped 40 in game 1 and KD sold the game. That was the tone setter for the game, for the series. But
you know what else was a tone setter, bro? You know what else was a tone setter, bro? Dropping 30.
I think Kyrie and KD have been a failure in Boston.
In Brooklyn, you mean in Brooklyn?
But then all I got to do is this, bro. What about LeBron James missing the playoffs last year and missing the playoffs with Brandon Ingram? See, because y'all think that y'all be
LeBron played 50 games last year, bro. He played 50 games
because of injury.
How many games did Kyrie play? How many games did Kyrie play in Boston the first season? Hold on. Hey, bro. Hey, Chris. So listen, they say, oh wait, they missed the playoffs because AD got hurt, but didn't Gordon Hayward get hurt? And Kyrie still took him to the number 1 seed.
But the team was but that Boston team's way better than the Lakers team last year.
Yeah, because their bench was deep. Their bench was deep. I mentioned you the deep bench.
All right, cool. So let's talk about 2019 when Kyrie had a rookie Jason Tatum in, because LeBron still had Ingram and Kuzma. LeBron still had Ingram and Kuzma.
2019, Jason Tatum was in the second year.
I'm talking about 2018. In 2018,
okay,
Jason Tatum.
You said 19,
so no, the Lakers team from 2019.
You keep bringing up Jason Tatum too, like, bro. They had more
2018 through 19.
I'm gonna tell you. So Tatum was a rookie. Jaylen Brown was the second season, and I think Rozier averaged. How many did Rozier average? Like 8 points.
I'm not entirely sure about Rozier's average. But
LeBron had Kuzma and Brandon Ingram, who both averaged 18 points a game.
And they had. Let's not forget the Lakers squad. 18. Are you talking about 18-19 Lakers when you had Bron, Kuz, and Luke Walton?
Bro,
you forgot about.
You keep bringing up the fact that Jaylen Brown's second year, when they played the Cavs, Jaylen Brown averaged 20 points a game. Jason Tatum as a rookie, you keep bringing up rookie Jason Tatum. He averaged 18 against the Cavs. Dunked on LeBron.
We're talking about why the Lakers missed the playoffs and Kyrie was the number 1 seed with no Gordon Hayward.
Are you talking about 18 to 19 Celtics or 2017 to 18?
I'm comparing the 2017-18 Celtics to the 2018-19 Lakers. You hear me?
Yeah.
So 2018-19 Celtics to 2018-19 Lakers.
No, the 2017-18 Celtics and the 2018-19 Lakers.
Oh yeah, that Laker roster. Some of the excuses
that you're making don't line up to what Kyrie did. Is what I'm saying.
Well, I'm saying to you.
I do think missing the playoffs is bad, but hold on. Wait, it's like delayed. Wait, let me see if I can fix it. Boom. We back. All right, we good.
Yep, we good.
All right. Well, the East was weaker, may add, but it's also like, bro,
it was. But
LeBron missed a lot of games. He's got thrown out like crazy.
He hurt his groin. Let's not forget.
And you say oh, Kyrie got hurt. They went to the 2 seed and went to the conference finals. LeBron gets hurt. They go from the 4 seed to like struggling to make the playoffs like that.
No, bro. LeBron was the 4th seed early in the season when the difference between the 4th seed and the 11th seed was like a game or two. Kyrie led them to a strong 1st seed all the way past the All-Star break, to where when they dropped, they still only dropped to the 2nd seed because there wasn't as many games left. But LeBron James came back and said that he was going to activate playoff mode. So that's the only reason. That's the main reason I say we can't use that excuse, because he's the one that said they were going to make the playoffs, because he knew how easy their schedule was when he came back and they were still losing, even though he had guys on his team averaging 18 points a game.
Let's not forget that Lakers team, when the calendar year flipped, there was also the Anthony Davis drama where AD said, I want out of New Orleans, and he wants to get traded to the Lakers. And most of the players were not focused on playing ball.
Most of those
and some of those guys, I mean, and I forgot to mention this to you, but during that year, when they had LeBron, one of the players who I'm not going to name, it's a former Laker player who used to play on the team when he had LeBron. I mean, it's not Ingram or any of those guys. It's one of the other Lakers who was one of the draft picks from 2019. He said, my first year was not that first year when you had Ingram and those guys. It was the locker room was divided, where you have the veterans on one side and the guys who are essentially not going to get traded and they're safe. And then you have the rookies and the people that are expendable on this side. And we literally every single day before the trade deadline, everybody was coming in there saying, you're going to get traded, you're going to get moved, or good luck. And when the deadline came along, one of the guys got traded to Detroit and for another guy. And that obviously was the entire season. It was the locker room was divided and players were literally pointing fingers saying who's going to get traded or who's going to get moved. And then that's how the season played out for the Lakers. Too much drama and dysfunction.
I wonder what Crunch thinks about, because I think Westbrook's a better player than Kyrie Irving. I don't know if Crunch is still here.
I mean, Russ did get hurt. Let's not forget, Russ got hurt in that in the playoffs in 2012 to 13, and Oklahoma City was not able to get to the finals again after he got hurt.
I mean, I think Russ is better than Kyrie. I mean, you would say outside of like handle and efficiency, what does, and I guess offensive bag, if you want to get more detailed, but what does Kyrie have over Russ Westbrook?
I think Kyrie's IQ is better than Russ's. I think he's just more skilled, pure player. So his style of play.
I got offensive bag. I got
no, I'm saying
efficiency.
I can give you that, but that's the thing. I mean, we can talk about, is Russ better than Steph then?
How so?
So I just think a lot of the same arguments that you would make for Russ being over Kyrie, you can say the same thing for Russ over Steph. But we know that Steph's style of play is more conducive to winning, so we can't, we just know Steph is a better player. I think we know the same with Kyrie, because also, even if you look at the fact that, I mean, they both went to the finals as a second option to KD and Bron, and they both averaged 27 in the finals. Yeah. So I mean, it's closer than a lot of people think. I mean, like I said, I guess it's just my opinion, but I think Kyrie's just more skilled, and that makes him more valuable of a basketball player.
I mean, outside of offensive bag, I mean, you could say scoring, but Russ has led the league in scoring twice. Kyrie's never done that. Way better passer, way better rebounder. I mean, defense, you don't even have to bring up defense. I mean, it's not like Westbrook's world class. MVP, Westbrook's got it. All NBA first teams, Westbrook's got it. I mean, I can make the same arguments about him against Curry. I can, but I think Curry plays way more winning basketball. I think Curry's the better shooter. And Curry's IQ is better. Curry's ball handling is better. And he's better leader, wins more. But I get why you have Kyrie up there just because of the scoring production and his skill set. But when I rank players, I can't put a guy who has 3 All-NBAs, no first teams, no MVPs above guys who do. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I can't have Kyrie above Steve Nash. I can't.
I was gonna say, I mean, it just comes down to who do you think. I mean, for example, you brought up the MVP season. Like I said, bro, I mean, Russ was the 6th or 7th seed that season. He got it because he averaged a triple double. Kyrie was the 1st seed, and Russ.
Yeah, but the team was way better though.
But hold on, Russ had Victor Oladipo.
And it was for Russ that year. It was obviously the now I do what I want tour, because when KD left, he was singing "Now I do what I want." That's what he was doing in the car, and he was not caring, obviously. And that summer, he had a commercial. He had the videos all over the internet. He said to Oklahoma City Thunder fans, "I'm not going to leave you guys. I'm going to stay here." But he got traded away, and he didn't want to get traded. He asked for a trade, but obviously he had an MVP year. But the Thunder, they had, of course, Victor. You had Steven Adams. You had Andre Roberson, who's not really a good shooter. You had Doug McDermott and a bunch of other players who aren't really.
That team was extremely big.
Victor Oladipo averaged more than Jason Tatum in his rookie season.
And look where Victor is now.
It's not just one player. It's not just your second best player. It's how.
And he has a bonus.
Well. Those are the 2 best players. I always say that because that's the main help.
But it's also,
let's not forget that it's the bonus.
Depth. It's team depth.
It's a bonus too.
Yeah, the Thunder got Sabonis in that deal for Serge Ibaka.
Come on, man.
People always ask about. They was like, wait, the Thunder got Sabonis? Yeah, they traded Oklahoma City, rebuild it. When Durant left, you could tell the Oklahoma City core or the core group. The only two people that have championships from the Thunder core are Durant and Serge Ibaka. Harden and Westbrook have not won a title.
Averaging 5 points a game.
No,
and he didn't play that many minutes.
Like this, he has Sabonis.
No, he played.
And they got rid of him to Indiana.
Hold on. How much was Victor Oladipo averaging?
I don't know that, but it was so bad I feel bad. But now look at Sabonis. He's an all-star, and he broke out in Indiana.
You want to tell me how much Oladipo was averaging?
Yeah, I got to look at that too. See how many Victor.
Oladipo averaged 18.
18?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Look.
Yeah, 18 points a game.
Oh no, it wasn't 18. It was 16. My bad.
Oh,
it was 16.
16.
Russ, he had 16. His third leading scorer was Ennis Freedom now. Ennis Freedom had 14. And then Steven Adams had 11. And
so
the
that's
only
my
reason why...
Whoa. Ennis Freedom averaged... Wait. So look, Tatum averaged 13.
No. I gotta give context to Freedom and Adams. I got to. Because think about it. The reason why... It's not like those dudes were getting their own shot. The reason why those guys were averaging so much points is because Westbrook was passing, dishing them, and they were putting dunks. You know what I know it. You know what I know.
No. Because Victor Oladipo is a shot creator.
For Adams and Cantor, the reason why they had 14, 11 points is because Russell Westbrook was driving the paint. And
these guys are solid big men in their own right outside of Westbrook. I was about to say this though. So like I said, I mean, you said that the.
Oh my God, bro! The Celtics and
you said the three. Hold on. Hold on,
No, bro. No, bro.
Oh, I know exactly. I know exactly what you just found. I know exactly what you just saw.
The
all the
Celtics
numbers.
in 2018.
They were deep. They were listen.
Kyrie,
bro, listen to me, bro.
10-point per game score.
Oh my goodness,
bro. Listen to me, bro. Listen to me, bro. We already know this. I already said earlier the Celtics were the deepest team in the NBA. I already know how deep that team was. I know the numbers damn near by heart. But I was about to tell you, you went with the third, the first, second, and third best scorers, Ennis Freedom and Adams. I mean, Oladipo, Ennis Freedom.
But basketball's not a 3-on-3, dude.
But that's what you said. But that's what you said.
It's not a 3-on-3.
Plus, my whole point was that they ultimately made the 7th seed, and so they gave Russ the MVP because he averaged a triple-double. But but Kyrie could have averaged 30 if he wanted to, but he was a more selfless player. So it allowed for his team to be more in rhythm and average more points per game.
But bro,
so I'm just saying they played different. I'm just saying they played differently.
You're telling me that you think Russell Westbrook's 3 best players, Victor Oladipo, Enes Kanter, and Steven Adams, are better than Jason Tatum?
No,
Jaylen
bro. I
Brown,
said they averaged more that
Marcus
season.
Smart.
I said he averaged more that season.
Bro, if you have 8 10-point per game scores on top of your 24 per game, you're going to be a top 3 seed.
If Kyrie averaged 30 points a game, they wouldn't have that many 10-point per game scores.
Oh, cool. They'll be like 7.
Right, just like some of the guys on the Thunder.
But it's not just the 10-point per game scores. It's the fact that they have guys who are capable of getting those points.
Same with OKC. That's what his own shot. That's why I brought up Sabonis.
Who outside of Victor Oladipo, who on this team could really get their own shot?
That's why I brought up Sabonis. And then you talked about what he averaged, but we all know that he's capable of getting his own shot in the paint.
Sabonis was 20 years old. I'm pretty sure this was his second season in the league.
Tatum was a rookie. And Tatum was a rookie.
But rookie Tatum was way better than rookie Sabonis.
No. You got to compare him to Oladipo. So now Oladipo averaged 18. Rookie Tatum averaged 13.
No,
Ennis Freedom averaged
16,
14.
16.
Horford averaged 14.
He averaged 16.
Steve. Oh yeah, 16. Oh, it's still more. Steven Adams averaged 11. You said. I think Horford and Jaylen Brown averaged 14.
Yes, but But it's different though because Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum on any night can get more than 15 because they can create their own shot. Steven Adams and Enes Freedom, the only reason why they got 14, they got 11 was because Westbrook was.
But you're skipping over
his gravity driving the basket was so great that he can dish to him. That's why he had like 10 assists that year. It's because he was dishing them off in the paint for easy dunks.
But you keep skipping over Oladipo. We know that Oladipo can get his own shot too, and he had games where he was capable of giving you way more than 16.
Yes, but that's just one guy. One guy.
What are you talking about? We just said Sabonis is capable.
No, he's not. This is not Sacramento Sabonis.
Bro, it's Sabonis. Hold on, bro. I'm gonna look it up.
So you're telling me age 20 Sabonis is the same as Sabonis in Sacramento? The 6 point per game Sabonis is the same as the 18 point per game we're seeing All-Star right now.
No, it's no, bro. That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
What are you saying?
You keep dancing around what I'm saying, bro.
Sabonis was shooting.
I'm telling you how.
Age 20 Sabonis played 20 minutes a game, averaged 6 points, shooting 0.1 less than 40% from the field. That's 32 from 3.
Hold on.
Like,
I'm telling you how
65% from the free throw line.
I'm simply telling you how.
Sabonis is one of the best rebounders right now in basketball. Sabonis grabbed 3 rebounds that year.
I'm gonna plug it up on. I had to plug it. I'm simply telling you.
I see what I'm gonna probably get off what you guys are saying about though. I'm not gonna get off there, but I'm gonna kind of say something about this. But a few minutes ago, Harden posted something about his little not getting snubbed from the All-Star game or getting snubbed from the All-Star game. He said the disrespect on his Instagram story. Harden posted that. He posted it on his IG story.
I think it's disrespectful.
It's mad.
Yeah,
I'd be mad too.
He's mad about not being selected, and I kind of agree with him. The disrespect of not being selected in the All-Star game and being snubbed as a reserve.
I think it's purely disrespect.
Bro, if I'm averaging 22, 11, leading the league in assists on 61% true shooting, the only thing, and seasons like that have only been done by guys who have been MVPs, bro, I'm mad if Drew Holiday gets above me. No disrespect to Drew Holiday. He's balling. He held his own when Giannis was out. But for the course of the whole season, I'm just doing better than you. And I'm only a game behind you in the standings.
Just from that perspective with Harden, of the All-Star game itself, people always ask, there's always a chance of him making it. Yeah, that's true because injuries happen and replacements happen. Because even though I have the list right here, this is off sidetrack, but I've got the list of people who got snubbed from the All-Star game. On that list is Harden, Trae Young, of course. From the Cleveland Cavaliers, people said, I don't pick Garland or Allen as All-Stars. They got snubbed as well. Jamal Murray, Anthony Davis, Booker was snubbed, even though he's been injured all of the season. Of course, someone said Josh Giddey and Desmond Bane should have made the list. They're already on the list, bud. But yeah, that's gonna happen. That's the All-Star game. Unless someone gets hurt, there might be a replacement. Who knows?
All right, we're like an hour in. I want to get any last words in. Crunch, I know you
the deadline.
I know we follow each other on TikTok. I know you didn't like my David Blatt take. Is there any other takes of mine you didn't like, bro? If Crunch is still here.
Yeah. What about the deadline for next week? We should do that for a take.
We'll do that next show.
We should definitely, for the next show, we should definitely do that because next weekend is the trade deadline on Thursday. And everybody...
Rob Pelinka legacy game, bro. Rob Pelinka legacy game.
The Lakers have a game. LeBron's going to have to – obviously, everyone's not been following the story, but LeBron is going to break history by next week. It might be Tuesday or Thursday if something changes because I got to look at that schedule for the Lakers. They have one game on Tuesday. That's their game. They have a game on Tuesday against the Thunder, and then they have a game on Thursday. So that means – this Tuesday might be the last time we see this Lakers squad together before the deadline because after Tuesday night,
Bro, you see Westbrook went 2. You see Russell Westbrook went 2 for 16 last night, bro.
Yeah, there might be a trade happening. Utah is on the phone. Possibly Westbrook might be getting traded to Utah for Jordan Clarkson and some other players, from what I've been hearing. But it's a rumor. We don't know what's going to happen because by Tuesday or by the earliest, because sometimes teams make early trades before the deadline happens. So don't be surprised. That means there's going to be some winners of the deadline and some losers of the deadline by Friday, and the buyout market. That's another thing to keep in mind with too. When the trade deadline happens, majority of the players that get traded get bought out, and they can go to contending teams.
I do want to say though, Boston the next year had 5 more double-digit scores, and then 2 players.
All right. Oh.
What are your thoughts?
Oh, bro, you went out. You were talking about the next season, though, when Tatum and Brown got better. Hey, bro, I can't hear you.
I was saying the next season for Boston, they have 5 double-digit scores, and 2 more people scored 9 outside of Kyrie.
Right. So,
18.
I mean, are we gonna talk about how Russ had PG and Melo, and PG was top 5 in MVP voting?
You're talking about the same PG that went like 2 for 17 against Utah in that closing
Right,
game?
And he lost. But I'm saying he lost. I can talk about how Tatum and the rest of the guys. Bro, the rest of the Boston team played bad as well against Milwaukee, but nobody talks about them. They only talk about Kyrie.
Well, because Kyrie's the best player.
Right. So Russ. Oh my gosh.
Kyrie's the best player.
You mentioned
Russ gets
Melo
flack for that too, bro. Russ gets flack for that too. I think Russ was like 17 for 38 or something from that. What was it like really bad? I think did he take like 40 shots?
Yeah, but the first thing you talked about was Paul George, though. So if that's the case, I can talk about.
At least Westbrook put the ball in the basket, bro. And Melo
he only had 10 points last night. Russ only had 10 points in the game against Indiana.
Yeah, we're talking about. I'm looking back at this.
Chris is hilarious, bro.
I know. And Westbrook, I'm just not a huge. I like Russ as a Laker, but just
Jason Tatum underperformed against Milwaukee. Yeah, I mean everyone. Underperformed. Outside of, like Al Horford played well. Marcus Morris played good.
Rozier.
Everyone else shot horribly from that.
Horrendous.
Let's not forget Rozier was playing good playoff basketball without Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Kyrie shooting 20% from 3 is oh my god, bro.
No, that's horrendous, bro. It was a blasphemous series from Kyrie. But bro, you asked me about David Blatt?
Yeah,
no, I was saying like because like you see my takes. Is there any other takes that you agree with? You already told me about David Blatt.
No, for the most part, bro, I really rock with everything you're doing, bro. I love your stuff, bro. I don't think I've seen any that I necessarily like wanted to talk to you about as far as like me disagreeing with it. I just kind of like what you be putting out, to be honest.
We got to get him. We got to get him more often.
Crunch came on a time where no, we usually have like 5 people in here just yelling. Yeah. You came in I couldn't get enough people here today. I'll hit you up for another one. But Chris hates David Blatt. Crunch thinks David Blatt's just like all-world coach.
I don't like him because in Cleveland, my opinion of Blatt was I've been to a lot of Cavs games in 2014-15 to start the year. I liked it. I didn't really like him because in 2014-15, there were a couple of moments where I was just rip my hair out, especially in that series against Chicago when they try to call timeout. They have no timeouts left. I'm like, what are you doing? You almost cost us the game. And when LeBron erased the play and gave me the ball, I'm like, I was happy about that. But in 15-16, I had it up to here with Coach Blatt because it was you're not playing most of the bench players. Like, for example, when they played Golden State or San Antonio, there were other guys in the team. He only played 7 guys. Keep that in mind. When the Cavaliers were having that year, he played only 7 guys in the rotation. So guys like Varejao, Mo Williams, James Jones, and some other vets they had on the bench, they weren't getting that much time. So when they fired him, I said something about, I agree. Ty Lue has a better vision with coaching than David Blatt. Blatt's a European coach, and that's one thing about the Cavaliers. Over the years, when they hire coaches, or they've hired coaches before, they went with a college coach who just literally was a dumpster fire and things went sideways. And then you hired a European coach who doesn't really grasp the NBA game that well. So
bro, let me ask you this question, right? If Tyronn Lue is so much better than David Blatt, why was David Blatt up 2-1 without Kyrie and Kevin Love?
Oh, here we go, bro.
And then when Kyrie and Kevin Love came back, they went down 3-1. Obviously, David Blatt was coaching them well. He was utilizing. I actually think David Blatt was utilizing the star players more to their strengths, because remember, during the season that David Blatt was the coach, Kyrie had 2 50-point games. He dropped 55 on Damian Lillard without LeBron James on the court, and then he dropped 57 on the defending champion San Antonio Spurs.
And Kevin Love wasn't playing that well because he actually wanted Kevin. He's like, you're a power forward. Start shooting threes. And let's not forget, when Kevin Love came, he wasn't really comfortable with his role, and he didn't feel like he was a part of the team a lot. And LeBron told him, fit in, just play ball. And LeBron wasn't taking a shot at Kevin, even though people thought he was taking a shot at Kevin Love, but Kevin Love didn't really pay attention to it. But the problem was, with that Cavs team, they weren't starting the season off hot. They had a lot of games where they were beginning to just not know the offense, or guys weren't clicking. Then you have the injuries, of course, with LeBron being out, Kevin Love being out, Virgil being done for the year with the Achilles.
I'll tell you why, bro. They played worse.
And Kyrie ripped his shoulder, and Kevin Love got his shoulder yanked out, and Ty Lue had to scramble for a lineup that in the finals where it was Delly.
No, that was look, bro. That was David
I get what you're saying, but bro, there's no way.
That was David Blatt's year, though.
I know where he's going, Chris. There's just no way you're about to give David Blatt credit for being up 2-1 versus Ty Lue being down 3-1. You understand the reason why they were up 2-1 in the first place was not because of David Blatt. That could have been any other coach, bro. The reason why they were up 2-1 was because Mr. LeBron James went absolutely nuclear for the first 3 games of the series. And then fast forward to 2016, the reason why they were down 3-1 is because what a lot of people don't understand is for the first couple of games of that series, LeBron actually underperformed. I think he had 23 in game 1 and actually 19 in game 2. I think Kyrie Irving, outperformed LeBron for the first 2 games. I think Kyrie had 26 in game 1. I don't think a lot of people understand the reason why they were down more in 2016. Also, the Warriors.
So that's my point.
Better.
So
the
you
Warriors,
have to. So
the Warriors were also the Warriors were also playing better in 2016. The first 4 games of the season, first 4 games of the series, than they were in 2015. So
let's not forget, Draymond got suspended.
Hold on. Not only were the Warriors playing better in the first 4 games of the 2016 finals than they were in 2015, LeBron was playing worse. That's the reason why they were down 3-1 versus being up 2-1 the year before.
But that's my point. Now that's why I'm trying to give credit to David Blatt for utilizing.
But it's not David Blatt's credit. I just gave you
David Blatt. Come on. David Blatt was utilizing his star players better. That's the same exact thing I said. That's the same exact words I said verbatim a few minutes ago. He was utilizing his star players better.
No, Kyrie wasn't playing. It was just LeBron.
And Dellavedova. Let's not forget.
Come on. Dellavedova and them, bro. That was David Blatt's team that went up 2-1 without. The whole point is that he had less talent than Tyronn Lue had, and he won more games. He was up 2-1.
I told you why. I gave you 2 reasons.
Because bro, if LeBron is the reason, if LeBron is the reason, then you have to say LeBron is the reason why he was down 3-1.
I told you. Yes,
but I'm saying we still we still give him credit for coming out of that hole, even though
because he turned it up.
No, but I'm saying
Draymond was suspended. Let's not forget.
You don't get more credit for being down 3-1 if you're the reason why he was down. You weren't supposed to be down 3-1 because he was just up 2-1 without Kyrie and Kevin Love.
Yes, I know.
He's the common denominator. They're supposed to beat. If he's the common denominator, then he's supposed to beat them in damn near 5 games.
Crunch, I told you. I just told you they were not supposed to be down 3-1 in the first place. LeBron underperformed in the first 2 games. I literally just told you, and I just admitted that.
You're forgetting about something in 2016.
It wasn't Tyronn Lue's. No, it wasn't Tyronn. I also think Tyronn Lue, although I don't think he was he's definitely a way better coach now than he was in Cleveland because that was his rookie season. I think Clippers Tyronn Lue clears Cavs Tyronn Lue, but Tyronn Lue was not terrible in the locker room. I think he was trying to motivate LeBron to really. I don't know, Chris, because you're the bigger Cavs fan than me. He was in the locker room trying to motivate LeBron to play better in those last couple games and before Game 7. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and let's not forget, in 2016, when they were in the finals and they were down 3-1, there was two key things that happened. In Game 5, They're back home, but they're missing their heart and soul because Draymond was suspended for hitting LeBron in the groin. And a lot of people say, oh, that was rigged. LeBron literally baited. No, because I keep on bringing that up because my cousin was like, he's not going to get in trouble. He kicked Steven Adams in the groin. He's going to get suspended. And he's telling him, oh, he's not going to get. But in game 5, I told him he's not playing tonight. Like, that's so unfair. Like, it's fair. You can't hit somebody, and he got away with it.
In game 2 of the finals, LeBron James had 19 points and Kyrie had 10.
Yeah, no.
That's why they were down 3-1.
Bro, hold on. Kyrie, you just told me Kyrie had bro. You're not hearing me, bro. We're talking about the coaching, right? So all I'm doing is showing you what the coaches did at the end of the day. Like, we're talking about the coach's resume, so we can't bring up what the players did because it's the same exact players, and David Blatt actually had less talent, and that was his rookie season. Phil Jackson,
I told you, and I gave you 2 reasons.
You were talking about Jordan having Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson wasn't as great as David Blatt early on. David Blatt went to the finals his rookie season, and he was winning championships overseas. Phil Jackson wasn't doing that, and then his first season with Jordan and Pippen, they didn't go to the finals like Kyrie and Bron did. So all I'm saying is, that's why I had disagreed with your point about
who's still in the NBA, who's not.
Bro, David Blatt turned down coaching jobs.
Who was still in the NBA?
LeBron James. Hold on, LeBron James got him fired after he was up 2-1 with him in the finals. That's my point.
Because it wasn't clicking. That's why they fired him.
What you mean it wasn't clicking? They went to the finals that rookie season.
It wasn't clicking. No one in the locker room
that's not right. That's not right.
Blatt.
That's
but
right, because
the little thing you should know about the firing thing. After the Clippers game, here's what happened when the Cavaliers played the Clip. I mean, this is from a player because the players talked about the season, and J.R. Smith said we had a lot of games where we could beat a lot of teams in the Eastern Conference or in the Western Conference. When they lost to the Spurs, that was a pinnacle of what happened. But when you lost to Golden State on Christmas Day, when Kyrie was coming off of the knee surgery and was getting himself back in a groove, they lost to Golden State on Christmas. And then when they played on MLK Jr. Day, they lost to them on their floor. And that game was the most embarrassing game because Cleveland got blown out.
That was so bad, bro.
And Golden State just came in there and just thumped on Cleveland. And everybody was talking about what's going to happen next. And when they beat the Clippers, Ty Lue said, I think we had a great team effort tonight. We played really well. And we're looking forward to playing Chicago on Saturday. So hopefully the guys bring it into practice tomorrow.
As a Cavs fan, the reason why they moved on to Tyronn Lue and David Blatt is because LeBron in the locker room bought into Tyronn Lue more than they did David Blatt.
And you could tell on the bench
head coach because they respected Tyronn Lue more than they did David Blatt. David Blatt did not have the locker room at all. He was just a terrible coach, a terrible figure on the sideline.
And he even limited Verjao too.
No. Sorry.
I'm going to give my final point. You're going to keep saying that David Blatt was up 2-1 versus Tyronn Lue being down 3-1. I gave you 2 reasons why the Cavs were up 2-1 in the first place. They were up 2-1. They were down 3. I'm going to go from that way. They were down 3-1 because the Warriors are better in 2016 than they were in 2015. And yes, they were. And first of all, I don't think the Cavs should have been up 2-1 in the first place in 2015. The fact that they were even up 2-1 shows how great LeBron James played. LeBron was having 40-point games.
That's my point. If he's so great, then he shouldn't have been.
Flash forward to 2016, they're down 3-1
because of coaching.
No, it's not. It's because LeBron James and Kyrie Irving
were not being utilized the right way.
I told you in Game 2 of the finals.
They were not being utilized.
They got smacked by 30 in Golden State. Kyrie Irving had 10 points. LeBron had 19.
And Kevin Love had a concussion. Let's not forget Kevin Love had a concussion.
Kevin Love got hurt in Game 2.
That's my point. So how
came off the bench in Game 4. And I don't think a lot of people realize that. I don't think a lot of people understand. LeBron also played pretty bad in Game 1 as well. The team dynamic from 2016 was way different than the team dynamic of 2015.
It was worse.
Because in 2015,
it was worse in 2015. You talking about Kevin Love having a concussion? Kevin Love didn't even play in 2015.
Because he got his shoulder ripped out.
I told you, the team dynamic was better in 2016.
Hold on, you talking about Kyrie playing bad? Hold on, talking about Kyrie playing. Nope, you can't do that, bro. You talking about Kyrie playing bad in 2016? He didn't even play in 2015 , bro.
Yes, because
outside of Game 1,
the way the Cavs played was different in 2016 than it was in 2015.
Because they were coached different.
And plus, one thing to keep in mind in 15 was when they were
in 2015. The reason why they were up 2-1 is because LeBron took all the load and exploded for 40, and Golden State underachieved.
So how did they get to the final?
And Dellavedova
never been down 2-1 in the first
Delhi.
place.
What about
Let's not forget about Delhi.
The finals with David Blatt as their coach, though,
and Dellavedova. Hey, you're forgetting something.
They could have had anybody as a head coach in 2015. I swear they could have had anybody. They still would have gotten to the NBA.
So when Kyrie says they don't need a coach, everybody gets mad at him.
Hey, I forgot to tell you this. In 2015 with Dellavedova, when Delhi played,
there's a difference between having any coach and having no coach at all. They could have had any coach back there, and I still think they would have went to the 2015. You're giving David Blatt too much credit.
David Blatt was a championship coach overseas.
It didn't translate to the NBA.
It did. Yeah. He went straight to the NBA final. Hold on. All I'm saying
LeBron went to the finals. You're giving him way too much credit.
LeBron went to the
finals. You're forgetting.
Oh, so there it is right there, bro. LeBron, hold on. LeBron standing that same mistake. It's LeBron and Kyrie, bro. Get it right.
But you're forgetting about something.
Yeah. I think Kyrie was banged up in that playoff run.
Yeah, he was. Kyrie was banged up with his knee, and he didn't play in that Hawks series until games 1 and 4.
I swear he missed some Hawks games, too.
They were sweeping through the East. So
and you're forgetting about something. But in 15, in that final, when Kyrie got injured, not Ty Lue, but David Blatt started Dellavedova. Delhi was hounding Steph in game 2, and Steph played very terrible.
Yes, exactly. I don't think you guys understand the reason.
And then in game 3,
that's a good coaching move.
And then in game 3, he literally played the game of his life. And he's in the hospital afterwards. Someone said, well, you were at the end of the game, and what happened to Delhi? Well, he gave his life. He's like, oh, I played tremendous tonight. We played well. And then next thing you know, someone said he's in the hospital. What for? Dehydration. So he played the entire game and got dehydrated. Yep. And I'm like, that guy
he got the win, didn't he?
Yeah. But afterwards,
that's a good coaching decision, man. Drink some electrolytes, drink some coconut water.
After the game, Delhi was not the same.
Next game.
He wasn't the same after that. Dellavedova obviously underperformed in the next couple of games, and Cleveland will go on to lose. But one thing the Warriors did was small ball. Let's not forget Steve Kerr.
What happened was
Crunch. Look at the box score. Crunch. I don't know if you like Basketball Reference, but the reason why they were up 2-1 was 2 reasons. Golden State underachieved. Golden State should never have been down 2-1 in the first place. And number 2, LeBron went 44.
Yes, I know what he did. I know what he did, but who was his coach? We can talk about how Jordan.
There's no way you're telling me that David Blatt put a 40-point backpack in LeBron James.
But I'm saying we can talk about how Jordan averaged 40 points in the finals in '93 with Phil Jackson as the coach. Everybody still says he had great coaching, but this is my point, right, bro. They were up, bro. Hold on, I forgot what I was about to say.
You forgot they changed up their lineup. Steve Kerr, even though the Warriors were, he forgot about Steve Kerr.
That's why they wound up losing, because the Warriors put Andre Iguodala on LeBron James,
and the Cavs couldn't adjust, and the Cavs could not adjust.
No, because they didn't have their star players,
and they only had 7 guys. They only could play 7 players.
Right, and you still have to give them credit for being up 2-1 though.
And you're forgetting about what Steve Kerr did was, I'm kind of with even though I'm flip-flopping around the league with Steve said in that interview when he met with coaches like Walton, Nick Urin, who's one of the Warriors assistants, who was a Warriors assistant, said LeBron has literally been easy. I mean, LeBron has been running around and doing whatever he wants. So Nick said, hey, why not start Andre? And Andre was on the bench, but now he's going to start. Bogut said, I'm not going to sit here and pout because we're going to win a championship. And Andre Iguodala started the next couple of games, and they honestly just steamrolled over the Cavaliers.
LeBron, the difference in those 2 series was not coaching from David Blatt to Tyronn Lue. It was in game 1, LeBron had 44. Game 2, LeBron had 39. 2016, LeBron had 23. And the next game, he had 19.
41.
He had 19 in game 2 of 2016.
And then the 3 closeout games, 5 and 6 and 7, he had 41 in game 5. And in game 6, he had 41 again.
I know David Blatt is a European champion, but after game 3 of 2015, you could say, oh, David Blatt had him up 2-1. Well, I can tell you David Blatt got him down and lost the series. I can say David Blatt got him walked down because, bro, David Blatt got completely out-coached by
Yeah, but that's
Kerr.
No, but that's my point, bro. You're saying nope. You can't do that. You can't use
did.
that logic,
You
bro.
told me
Listen. David Blatt did not have Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, and he was up 2-1 against the Warriors, won 67 games.
LeBron James
But listen. If it's because of
LeBron,
if it's because of LeBron James, right? If it's because of LeBron James, so that means when they put Andre Iguodala on LeBron is the one that needs to adjust, right?
Yeah.
Now you want to revert to David Blatt.
And plus, they didn't have. They were so short-handed. Like they had no Kyrie,
I got you.
no Kevin, and no Anderson Varejao.
The first 3 games of 2015, LeBron goes 40, 30, 44, 39, and then 40. I will say though, Game 4, the turning point in the series, LeBron did play off. He was inefficient. Timothy Mozgov outscored LeBron James. LeBron only had 20. He shot horribly.
There it is.
Right?
There it is. There it is right there.
He did. But you also have to understand that Steph Curry in games 4, 5, and 6 played way better than he did in games 1, 2, and 3.
But did he play better than LeBron James? Played?
No.
So there you go.
But the team also, the Golden State Warriors were just way better too.
Well, yeah. I mean, he still, we got to remember. I still didn't
expect him to win. LeBron had 40, game 6, LeBron had 32.
Yeah, I still didn't expect him to win though because he didn't have their guys. I'm just saying.
That Dellavedova defense that you said that David Blatt adjusted, Dellavedova got cooked for the rest of the series by Steph.
Yeah, I remember Steph was cooking him.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I still didn't expect him to win. But I look at David Blatt. That was my first sighting of David Blatt. I seen him go up 2-1 on that team without Kyrie Irving. I was impressed. I just was.
And Andy Varejao. Let's not forget. You keep on. People say, "Oh, LeBron, Kyrie, and Kevin Love." Well, another Cavalier player who could have helped them, even though they had Mozgov starting at center and you had Tristan Thompson playing the power forward spot. Anderson Varejao. If Varejao was healthy, they could have swapped.
He got hurt in the beginning of the season, right?
I mean, in December he got hurt, but if he was healthy, Ty Lue could have swapped Andy and had Mozgov coming off the bench,
Chris, bro. And I don't think Crunch understands one of the reasons, an underrated reason why they lost in 2015 was because their players were gassed. This dude David Blatt was. I know they didn't have Kyrie and Kevin Love, but this dude David Blatt was running like a 7-man rotation, having
James Jones, Shumpert.
He was running guys 40 minutes a game.
Mike Miller.
Because other guys got to step up when our guys go down, bro. It is what it is.
And they didn't even play most of the guys that could have helped. Like Sean Marion could have. I mean, Sean Marion was the tail end of his career, but he could have gotten some minutes and gone out there and done stuff. Joe Harris in his rookie year, he didn't get that much run in the playoffs.
40 minutes a game, bro.
And then you have Mike Miller.
A lot of those guys didn't play much during the season, so they would have been thrown off.
I mean, Miller started. Miller was a start because in December, when the Cavaliers were on that streak, Miller was in the starting lineup. They had the lineup of Kyrie, Mike Miller, Dion Waiters when he was there, and before LeBron, obviously, and him clashed heads. And then Varejao and Kevin Love and Tristan Thompson. When Varejao was out, you had Thompson starting.
Also, David Blatt used to start him on Shumpert over J.R. Smith. I know
JR got suspended for slapping Crowder.
But that happened. Ty Lue saw it. Ty Lue started J.R. Smith above Ahmad Shumpert next year.
Yeah.
Right, hold on. Hey, bro. Steven. And then what happened? He went down 3-1.
Because LeBron underperformed.
Nah.
Wait, so you're telling me? Yo,
I'm
Crunch.
saying,
In the world, Crunch.
He did underperform, but you can't flip-flop.
Crunch. So, game 1 and 2 of 2015, it's tied 1-1. Games 1 and 2 of 2016, you're down 0-2. So let's spot the difference, all right? So LeBron has 44 and 39 in games 1 and 2 in 2015. Then the next year, he has 23 and then 19. Spot the difference.
Yeah,
because they turned it up.
The difference is LeBron is playing worse. The difference is there's a new coach. The difference is Kyrie
was there. Stop giving David Blatt credit.
The difference is, no. You want me to stop at one reasoning? That's your problem, bro. You want me to stop at that one reasoning instead of looking at the whole totality? Because
I gave you every other reason.
With other players, with other players in other situations, y'all talk about coaching. Well, coaching matters. Now, coaching doesn't matter at all. It's not right, bro.
David Blatt
game 3,
his guys 40 minutes a game, bro. That's not
sustainable. And game three, when they were back home in Cleveland, they made that change. With Kevin Love being out, Richard Jefferson started, and they were on a Cleveland went on a rampage that game because Golden State couldn't even hit shots.
That game where they beat them by 30.
Yeah, and they couldn't hit shots, and then obviously
I was coming back from Cedar Point that day, bro. I was happy as hell, bro.
And my buddies, we were watching that game, and then they remember me quoting.
I was watching that game on a bus, bro.
Yeah, but they remember me quoting before that game. The quoting I said was, obviously you can't go down 3-0. That's what I told them. Like, they can't go down 3-0 because if we do that, then the series is over. And then in game 4,
I remember game 4 because I was at a basketball camp. We had no internet, so we had to watch the game on cafeteria TV.
And people were panicking. Like in game 4, after game 4, people were just like,
I had players on my team. I had people on my team who were Warriors fans. They were rubbing it in. But who's gonna?
And they were celebrating. Like some people that are Warrior fans were literally bringing out. They were wearing the shirts. Like one kid was like wearing a shirt, is popping a shirt out like this, saying, "We're gonna repeat tomorrow." And then when Draymond got suspended, I said, "There's no celebration tonight." I was like, "You guys got to come back for game 6." And I was there for game 6 because when I got to Cleveland for game 6, dude, that was insane because the entire arena was electric. Everybody, Curry gets ejected. They remember me clapping and just yelling at him.
This is what I'm going to say before we wrap up. I remember game 6 when they beat. I remember watching it live. I was at my friend's house for a sleepover, and I posted on Snapchat, like, Golden State series is over. There's no way you're going to beat us in 7. We got all the momentum. My little bro, I was 13 years old, bro. Matt, 13-year-old kids, that's like, bro, that was crazy, bro.
Game 7, dude, that was I was just sweating like the entire game. They remember me just like putting my hands on my head and just going like halftime now. And it's like a boxing arena where it's back and forth. But when it got to the fourth quarter and that buzzer hit 0, that's when I was celebrating. And people that are Warriors fans were sad. And I told them, hey, you guys had a good season, man. Don't be upset. Chin up. Like, why are you being so nice? Because you guys had an unbelievable year. You had the best record in the league. You had, Steph played phenomenal except in the playoffs, but you guys deserve a lot of credit for the way you guys played. And then, of course, they gave credit to Cleveland saying the coaching was the coaching wasn't an issue. We bought in. And when the Cavaliers made the trades, when they got Channing Frye and they got rid of Verjao, I thought that was another key thing that Ty Lue did. That was very, very that was a difference in the team because when he was there coaching, it was David Blatt coaching. Blatt said, hey, our lineup is going to be LeBron, Kyrie, Kevin, and Mozgov. Obviously, that lineup was good, but Mozgov was just terrible.
Dude,
but when Ty Lue took over,
David Blatt, Mozgov was not bad in 2015, but bro, David Blatt loved him some Mozgov, bro.
But in 16, he was
bro. You want to know what's crazy? Y'all want to know what's crazy? I was watching the finals in 2017. I was in Ocean City for senior week, and it was game 3 night. And I was in the hotel room watching the game.
What game is this?
It was game 3 of the 2017 finals.
Oh my god!
And I seen Kyrie going crazy.
Oh, Kyrie did. That was Kyrie and LeBron both had 39 points that game, right?
Yeah, I think that was
39. Kyrie had 38. They were going crazy. They were about to win. They were about to win the game, and then KD closed it out at the end, bro. And then that's why the Cavs went down 3-0, man. Like,
Crunch. You know, I will give you some credit. A lot of people were eating you up about this. I will say, although I think the Warriors were the superior team, the gap between the Cavs and that 2017 Cavs and Warriors team wasn't that big as people say it was. Although the Warriors were the favorite and were the better,
and they skated to the final in 2017. Golden State literally skated to the NBA Finals. They sweep Portland.
I know.
They sweep Utah.
That Golden State Warriors team. That's an all-time team. It's one of the greatest teams ever. But dude, that Cavs team. If Golden State did not exist, we could be talking about how great that Cavs team was. Because I think that 2017 Cavs team clears 2016 Cavs offensively.
And it was honestly that group. I think that from 15 through 16, the 2015 team and 2016 through 17 team, it was so. I thought the team was okay, but they lost a lot of key parts on the team. Like you lose Mozgov, you lose Dellavedova, you lose Mo Williams.
Better, though. If it wasn't for Kyle Korver missing a wide open 3 in the corner, bro.
People always hate on Kyle Korver. Like some people I don't like Kyle.
I don't look at that. I think if it wasn't for KD closing out that game by himself, and then Kyrie had a go-ahead shot that he missed.
Yeah, Kyrie did. Kyrie grabbed the ball and pushed it immediately down the floor. I'm pretty sure he missed it. I live with that. Yeah. Kyrie was a clutch guy. I would live with that because
I live with that too. But then LeBron had a chance too, and he got stripped. But everybody talks about Kyle Korver. I think that people overreact and come up with those excuses because they're just mad about the Cavs losing. But sometimes you got to take that out. Because I was a Kyrie fan. I thought Kyrie and them were gonna win. Like Kyrie and Brown were gonna win. You know what I mean? Like
Korver was a
dude. After
yeah.
that
Korver could have done something.
Everyone wanted to bury Golden State. I mean, like, I do think, although Warriors, that was one of the greatest teams ever. Warriors were clearly better, but I don't think Cavs are that far off. And I can't although when people say like LeBron has a finals loss, and like I count 2017 as a loss. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's going to be interesting because, of course, the Warriors are still not the same dynasty like they were a season ago with KD in them. And I remember your TikTok video talking about the 2018 Cavs and if they could beat the Rockets.
Terrible, bro.
Yeah, that 2017 to 18 season, going to a couple of games, I was there for the Boston game, but there were games where it was not the same team. And that roster, when you had Derrick Rose, Isaiah Thomas.
Dude. That January, February, where it looked like we weren't even going to make the playoffs. I mean, we were going to make the playoffs, but it was bad, bro. I hated
and it was depressing.
I hated turning on TNT and seeing Isaiah Thomas in a Cavs jersey, bro.
Because they said, the Golden State game,
because the team was terrible. They played no defense. I remember the screenshot I showed on my TikTok of Houston. Dude, that Houston game, oh my God.
That was on ABC. Hold on. That was the ABC game before the Super Bowl. That was the ABC game before Super Bowl Sunday. That was the Houston Rocket game.
Monte and Ryan Anderson clapped the Cavs before halftime. The game was over at halftime.
Yeah, I was watching that game live, and at the end of it,
James Harden even played good.
Wait a minute, so hold on, bro.
Yeah,
Isaiah Thomas averaged 14 points on the Cavs.
Defensive liability, literally.
They beat defense,
bro. It wasn't just offense.
They beat the team. They beat the Celtics in Game 1 with Kyrie.
Bro, that was the best that Cavs team I think ever played with that.
But you got to remember, bro, whose fault is it?
There's no way we're also claiming first game of the season, bro.
I'm saying, whose fault is it? Whose fault is it though? If you orchestrated this team, you put this team together. I know
it was Kobe Altman.
I know IT was traded.
LeBron did not put that team together.
No, listen,
it was Kobe Altman. Kobe obviously.
Hold on. Time on. I know IT was traded there, but you still had D Wade, D Rose. You still had substantial pieces, but then
it didn't.
Jeff Green.
They traded all those guys away and got a team that everybody was so happy about until they got to the finals, which everybody wasn't really happy about them then.
No, okay. The reason why they were happy was not because they thought they could win a championship. No one thought they were going to be Golden State. They just saw they were happy because the pieces the Jordan Clarksons, the Larry Nances of the world, they fit
Rodney Hood,
LeBron, then Derrick Rose, and all of them. Dude, as a Cavs fan, Chris can speak to it. That January and February with D Wade, Jay Crowder, Isaiah Thomas was terrible.
They were looking bad. I remember they were looking terrible.
And here's the one thing I forgot to mention, but when they had the Cavs team, when they played against Golden State on MLK Day, they were up big, and everybody in the arena was like, yeah, we're beating the champ. And then they come back, and it's depressing, and it's quiet because they said, we lost those guys again. We're going to see them in the finals. We are going to see them in the finals. And then
was that the game where when Dwayne Wade threw the alley-oop to Jeff Green?
Yeah, and then everybody was going insane into halftime. And then the third and fourth quarter, Golden State came in there and just steamrolled over Cleveland. And it was depressing at the end because my buddy said, this is depressing and embarrassing. And it's on TV. And then when they played the Rockets, we said, we got to make change. They got to make changes. And Cleveland made changes to get Clarkson, Nance, Rodney Hood, George Hill. And
LeBron always gets what he wants. And they say,
and then, of course, you had Jose Calderon. Like, someone's like, well, when we started off, when we had Rose and Thomas injured, we had a point guard starting. Oh, you mean that guy, the Spaniard guard? Yeah, Calderon. He was phenomenal. My friend liked Jose Calderon. It's like that guy could shoot. I understand you like Jose Calderon starting, but we need an actual point guard who can play defense and is not slow on defense getting back. Like,
that's my point. It's always something else
defensively, bro.
And they had he was also a huge Jetty Osman fan. It's like, who's this rookie kid from Turkey? Seti Osman. Like, oh, that kid's good. And then when they had him in the playoffs, he didn't get that much playing time. Of course, you had Rodney Hood. The Rodney Hood thing was so funny because in the Toronto series, he didn't play. He refused to check into the game.
They also couldn't shoot, too. That was like their real problem. No one on the team could shoot. Dwayne Wade couldn't shoot. Derrick Rose couldn't shoot. That
was still sad to see what happened in Cleveland for him. It was very they signed him
to Cleveland, bro. I was hurt. I didn't like him Dwayne Wade in Cleveland. They forced him.
Yeah. And then, of course, LeBron, my dad's like, are they going to hold hands? No, Wade's a champion. He has rings, and him and LeBron playing together is a good idea. But my buddy said, no, it's not Miami. There's no Chris Bosh. There's no Eric Spoelstra. Wade should just go back to Miami. And obviously, my friend wanted him to go back to Miami to end his career. And that was a good idea for Cleveland to trade him away because in the finals he blamed Kobe Altman and said, if we had Wade here, we could have beaten the Warriors. Or if we had Crowder here, we could have beaten them. Instead of trading for Larry Nance and other guys from that suckish Jazz team.
Same thing that I was saying, bro. Because remember, Boston, like Kyrie had went down ultimately, so he didn't have to play. I think that D Wade, IT, and then with Kevin Love and Rose, I think regardless, they still would have beaten the Pacers. They still would have beaten the Raptors because they swept the Raptors with lesser talent. And then you talk about, D Rose can't do this and that, but he was 18 points a game before he went to Cleveland and after he left Cleveland. So I mean,
it doesn't matter what you do before and after. It matters what you do.
But if you can't play with LeBron, if you can't play with LeBron, though, if you can't fit with LeBron, that should be a detriment to LeBron James.
It doesn't matter.
And
it doesn't matter
that team
before. It doesn't matter what you did after. It matters what you did, like because D Wade got some life when he went back to Miami. It matters what you do in the situation because it's how you play as a team.
So okay,
like,
and that's so
much.
The argument I hear all the time is like, "Oh, Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade were falling off in 2014. But tell me why were they all stars in 2015, bro?" The team they just played better when LeBron left because now they don't have LeBron, and like it still doesn't take away from the fact that they played terrible in 2014.
All right, well, Steven, that's my point, though.
And let's not forget the Heat were also rebuilding.
Hold on, Chris, because he's in the corner now. Now Steven's in a hole. So if that's the case, why do people ask me what did Mo Williams do after LeBron when I'm trying to point out the fact that he was an All-Star with LeBron?
No, Mo Williams. No, let me explain Mo Williams. First of all, the problem with Mo Williams is too. What was his points per game that year? What was his stats? I forgot. Was it like 18?
Like 17 games.
43% too. The reason why he was also an All-Star because he was on a 60-win team. But whatever. But who cares what Mo Williams did in the regular season? Dude was still shooting terrible in the postseason. That's what everyone's getting on Mo Williams about. What?
LeBron shot terrible from the three against the Magic.
Oh yeah, but he still gave you 38.
Orlando was a tough team for him to beat because he had Dwight.
I thought
Hito.
I thought Boston was a tough team for him to beat.
Yeah, because the Celtics were the other juggernaut in the East. And people always beat up on LeBron for leaving Cleveland, but here's the thing. The reason why all three of them wanted to play in Miami is to beat those guys. And everybody said, you did not like the Celtics when they had Garnett, Allen, and Pierce. I did not, because there are people that are Celtic fans. They're always like saying, we have championships. We can kick anybody's butt. And I tell them, oh, really? You can't beat the Lakers. Like, well, Perkins got her. It doesn't matter, you old geezers. We're going to kick you guys because in 2011, there was like the whole argument with the Celtic fans saying, we're going to beat you guys. No, you guys aren't. We're the better team. Like, as a Heat fan, I was still a Miami Heat fan a little bit, but I told one kid who's a Celtic fan saying, I hope it's a physical series because you're going to end up in a wheelchair and smashed. And it happened, and Miami beat them. And he said, you still couldn't beat us when he was in Cleveland.
Bro, that's my point. You just said the Celtics teamed up for them to beat LeBron, but he didn't have to play the Celtics in 2009. Now you're saying, Orlando was a tough team for him to beat.
Because Cleveland's roster.
Their roster beat the Cavs.
Cleveland had 3-point shooters up the yin yang, bro. Cleveland had like all those guys were 38% from the three and up.
But that center,
not in the playoffs.
The center position was the key problem for Cleveland when they played against Orlando. It was the center.
With the playoffs, though, you can ask yourself, okay, well.
Mo Williams shot 37 from the field, bro.
But I'm saying you can ask yourself, is that because of LeBron's style of play?
No, it's because
he's not in rhythm. Because LeBron wasn't in rhythm either.
And the people say Kobe beat Orlando. Well, I mean Kobe's team. What people don't understand is, yes, Kobe balled. Yeah, Kobe balled, and Kobe was better at that time than LeBron. But what people don't understand is that the front court of the Los Angeles Lakers had better personnel to guard Dwight than Cleveland did. Dwight played better against Cleveland than he did against the Lakers. I think he had 21 against how much did he have in the finals? 21, 20?
Because Cleveland did not have a big guy.
That's my point. Hold on, Steven. But that's my point. Tim Duncan played better against the Lakers in 08 than he played against the Cavs in 07, but Kobe beat them in 5 as well.
Tim Duncan also okay, but like I have to say, defensively in 07, I think the Cavs would have been better off against that Atlanta. Cavs had a top 5 defense in 07, and also
top
5.
top 2 defense, the top defense in 09.
You're forgetting about the center spot for Cleveland because at center, when you had Dwight, you had Ilgauskas playing at center, and you had Varejao. Big Z, as you already know, Z's
Also, that 07 series was Tony Parker's series. So, I mean, if you want to criticize Tim Duncan, but that was the offense ran through Tony Parker that series. But whatever.
And people always discredit Cleveland saying, oh, yeah, but I told somebody else, Z was not really a rim-rocking center to guard Dwight because Dwight was getting rebounds. But when they added Shaq had obviously, he's older now, but I mean, Shaq was old out of that time and playing in Cleveland. But against Orlando, he was trying all of his best to stop Dwight. And Orlando, obviously, Dwight was just getting the ball, rebounding. But the 08 playoffs.
Jesus Christ. I mean, bro, like, look at this. I understand that Kobe Bryant, people like to bring up, oh, Kobe beat Orlando when LeBron couldn't. First of all, Kobe was better at the time than LeBron. Kobe was in what, like year 14? What year was Kobe?
And he wanted to get to the finals again after getting humiliated by Boston. Yeah, Remember that?
Kobe was in year 12, was a champion. He was better than LeBron at that time. And, bro, the reason why Orlando beat Cleveland was because, bro, the difference is, let's spot the difference between the Lakers series with Orlando and the Cavs series with Orlando. Against Cleveland, Dwight Howard had 26 and 13. Against the Lakers, Dwight went 15 and 15. Dwight played worse against the Lakers than he did against the Cavs.
Because of the defense.
Nelson, played, but Jameer Nelson was a non-factor.
So what about the defense on Kobe?
People also like to say, like, oh, the Magic didn't have Jameer Nelson. Bro, when Jameer Nelson came back, he was a non-factor. So, like, what is
but the Lakers,
he got injured.
Keep in mind, the Lakers, with their defense, you had Pau Gasol. Pau was playing great basketball after being humiliated by Boston, and you had a somewhat healthy Andrew Bynum, and you had Lamar Odom coming off the bench.
Steven. Yeah. How much did Pau Gasol average that series against Orlando?
18.6.
How much did Mo Williams average?
I think it was 18.6 too.
Oh my goodness, bro.
No, but hold on, bro. I'm not going to get away with that, bro. I'm not going to get away with that. I can't do this, bro. I got too much on my screen.
But yeah, I think that's going to happen. I mean, that's the.
But it's not just crunch. It's not just because of that too. Because let's see, because Dwight Howard was the third leading scorer for Orlando versus the first leading scorer against the Cavs.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel you, bro. I feel you. It's a lot of the rabbit hole is deep, bro. You know, the rabbit hole is deep.
And against the Cavs, the Orlando Magic, I know it's not a big difference, but the Orlando Magic averaged 104 points per game. Against the Lakers, they averaged 100. Dwight Howard played less. Dwight Howard played worse.
Kobe was cooking, man.
Lakers having a band. Hey, with
Kobe was cooking. Kobe was LeBron didn't pass Kobe to like 2011.
Huh?
LeBron didn't pass Kobe to like 2011 as best player.
Oh yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Some people like to say that LeBron was better because he was winning MVPs. I don't believe that, but
my whole thing with LeBron is I always thought LeBron didn't have to leave to win, but I think even though he left,
he did.
I think he would have won eventually because the Celtics started getting older, and Dwight Howard wasn't good for that long.
LeBron couldn't trust him. I brought this point up on your live, but you weren't there. I said when you look at the people in the top 10, what a lot of people, the older generations, like to criticize LeBron is that he
left Cleveland.
He stacks his deck. Look at everybody in the top 10. The difference between LeBron and everybody in the top 10 is that LeBron had to stack his deck himself. Everyone's like, LeBron has the most trades on his watch. LeBron's left multiple times in free agency to form super teams. You understand why? Because LeBron had to go out of his way, play GM for himself to surround himself with talent, all while everyone else in the top 10, their deck, let's not act like their deck wasn't stacked. Their stacked deck was just brought to them for them. Look at everyone in the top 10. Look at everyone. LeBron James spent 7 years in Cleveland. 7 years is a pretty long time to know if your team can surround you with talent. You're telling me in 7 years, if you can't give me, and the best thing you do is give me an inefficient Mo Williams in the playoffs, an old Shaq, an old Ben Wallace, and an Antoine Jameson that's also inefficient in the playoffs. That's the best you're going to give me? Are you serious?
This is my point.
And then he went to Miami because everybody wants to beat up on him.
Well, even when people say, like, oh, don't act like the Cavs didn't surround LeBron with talent. They did, but it wasn't crazy. They did. They did give LeBron some pieces, and that's why they won 66 wins. But even when you want to say they gave LeBron pieces, you're telling me that 09 team, that talented 09, can compete with any of the talent that on the top 10.
You're missing it, bro. You're missing it, bro. Hold on, wait, bro.
Hold on, bro. I'm gonna finish. This is my last point, Crutch. This is my last point. Look at everyone in the top 10. MJ, he had Pippen, he had Phil Jack, he had all those pieces and going to the NBA Finals in about year 7, year 8, right? Year 7, years 8. Where's Magic Johnson? Kareem, James Worthy, multiple championships, Pat Riley, right? Right,
bro. I get the top.
Kobe gets drafted.
Bro, I get the top 10 argument. I get it, bro. I'm saying you don't have to go through all of the players. I get it. My point is this: for one, when he got the help that he needed, he still has a losing record. So you can just look at that. So look, even if he got the help that he wanted, that was going to equal everybody else. He has a losing record. That's the difference. All right. So 2, bro. The difference is this, bro. I still have LeBron James in my top 3 over most of those guys. But all you got to do, this is all you guys have to do is look at who Kobe played with after Shaq. Pau Gasol is not on the level of most of the other guys from the top 10.
But Crunch, I can flip it. Yes, did LeBron have better? But yes, you're saying like, look who Kobe played with after Shaq. It doesn't compare to who LeBron played with. But, bro, I can flip it and say, look who LeBron played with before Dwayne Wade. It doesn't compare to who Kobe played with before Pau.
But LeBron didn't prove that he can win without one of those players. Kobe did. Because everybody that's in the top 10, who they play with all of those Hall of Fame talents, Pau Gasol is the least, is the worst player out of all those names.
No, that wasn't my argument, Crunch. I'm saying in the first 7 years of their career, everyone in the top 10.
Right,
Look at Steph Curry. The first 7 years of Steph Curry's career, Bob Myers got him Clay, Draymond, Kevin Durant's on the phone.
Look,
I don't hold
LeBron. I don't hold that against LeBron. Because I don't think that knocks LeBron. I still look at what you're able to achieve ultimately. So my point is that Kobe Bryant still proved that he can win back to back with lesser talent regardless. So either way, if Kobe didn't win with Pau, I wouldn't have him over LeBron. But he won with Pau Gasol, so to me that proves that he's the common denominator. He had
Kobe's in my top 5.
He went to 3 straight finals with him without Shaq. And so even Pippen, bro, like, Pippen wasn't a superstar. He wasn't a superstar.
I get what you're saying. He wasn't a superstar, but he was still a guy who can be all NBA first team, a guy who can be all NBA first team and all NBA first team defense.
And so was D-Wade.
I mean, you're forgetting the point about Cleveland, because when LeBron was there for the first part of his year for 7 years, you could tell that it was beginning to wear on, because I watched the documentary called the Believe Land documentary, and Mike Brown, former Cavs coach, said the first 7 years, it was beginning to wear on him. And Mo Williams said in 2009 and 10, we beat Chicago and we go up against Boston, and everybody was beginning to wonder, is he going to stay? The Cavaliers, after they lost to Boston, literally rebuilded that team. The coach gets fired. Mike Brown out. Byron Scott comes in. Chris Grant takes over. Danny Ferry gone. Of course, LeBron was upset because they didn't consult them that Mike Brown got fired. And Mike Brown obviously was a good head coach for Cleveland, and they shouldn't have fired him when they lost to Boston. They fired the entire coaching staff.
Mike Brown because I think they try to convince LeBron to come back. But I'm keep going, like that 2009 team that everyone likes to bring up saying the Cavs didn't support LeBron with talent. It's not that the Cavs didn't support LeBron with talent. Take that 2009 team and put them against the best team that anybody in the top 10 had in their first 7 years. That 2009 team's getting swept by any team, by the best team of anybody in the top 10 in their first 7 years.
That's not necessarily true. Who was Jordan playing with until Scottie got nice?
No, Jordan's first 7 years. The 7th year of Michael Jordan. Well, I mean, it'll be the 2009 was a 6-year LeBron. 1990, Jordan's about to be in the NBA Finals with Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, Phil Jack. Jordan's on his way to the finals in year 6.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think?
Hold on, time out. That's my point. I don't have. Like, bro, I really think you miss what I'm saying. Y'all like to use that section of his career thinking that we're trying to bring him down because of that. That's not the point. If we still have him on Jordan's heels, you look at all of the other differences. You just said that LeBron was able to manufacture his team to get at least equal talent as Jordan. Let's say that's true. He still doesn't have as many rings, and he still has a losing record. He still has had more trades since 2010. Than anybody in history.
Because
so,
time out.
So I'm saying he's gotten the help. Even after D-Wade and Bosh, he had Kyrie and Anthony Davis, who was another top 3 player in the world. But he still has a losing record in the finals. He's still like Jordan still is above him. Is the point? It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that
through his
Boston
finals.
and the only time that only reason we bring up those series is because even if you go to early Cleveland, right? Bro, he got swept by San Antonio. Jordan got swept by Boston, but Jordan averaged 40 plus that series, right? Jordan. They make excuses for Boston, and then he lost to Orlando. All I'm saying,
people hold that against LeBron.
No, I'm saying I only hold it against them in the sense that you can't use an excuse. Period. I don't like making excuses for anybody. If you already making excuses saying that Boston was too overpowered and you don't have to play Boston, I don't want to hear any more excuses. Then, oh, now Orlando was this and that. I mean, Cleveland had the best record in the NBA. If Orlando had the best record in the NBA, y'all would be using that as a reason why LeBron lost. Like y'all make it seem like the Cavs teams was bad. Mo Williams was averaging 17 before and with LeBron. He was averaging 17 twice before he played with LeBron. Then he averaged 17 with LeBron.
Who won more head-to-head in the regular season? Magic or Cavs?
I know the Magic had Jameer Nelson during the regular season.
Magic.
The Magic had Jameer Nelson, and then they lost Jameer Nelson.
Yeah, then Dwight Howard.
Hold on. And then that's like me saying, look, again, y'all always get mad at me when I say the Cavs beat the Warriors on Christmas, though.
I don't get mad. I think the Cavs.
You know what I mean? So I'm just saying we got to just keep it 100, bro. But that's not why I don't have him over. But that's not why I don't have him over Jordan. So I don't have him over Jordan because now you got to compare the 2010s to the 90s, right? We already compared the first 7 years. Now you compare the 2010s to the 90s. And
Kyrie just requested a trade. Holy.
That's a Woj bomb. The Woj bomb is announced that Brooklyn Nets star Kyrie Irving has told the franchise that he wants to be traded ahead of Thursday's deadline.
Yeah, no, I gotta go on TikTok, bro.
Huh?
You gotta go on TikTok.
Yeah, bro. I gotta go on either TikTok or YouTube. I think I want to.
And Nurkic is out for a month. Nurkic won't be playing.
Crunch, before we end this, quick initial reaction, bro.
Bro, that's insane. That's insane, bro. I think
you gotta post this thing on TikTok. The reaction for Woj for Kyrie getting traded.
I'm speechless, bro.
Where do you think he's gonna go?
Traded or he'll leave in free agency.
Where do you think he's gonna go? I mean, I want your opinion. Where do you think Kyrie Irving wants to go?
He's a Laker. It's happening. He's a Laker. It's happening.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Is it happening, bro?
No, I'm speaking into existence. He's going to be a Laker. It's time.
You think it might happen?
It's time, bro. We'll see you later.
Oh no. He's out of there. He's not liking it.
If he go play with LeBron, oh man, bro.
Oh no, not again.
Crunch gonna be sick that LeBron's winning them championships, bro.
Oh,
I'm gonna be sick because I'm gonna be happy and sick. Because
bro, he wants to be traded ahead of the deadline. And if he
that's what I'm saying. He might get traded before the deadline.
Yeah, and if he doesn't get traded, he told him he's gonna leave.
I feel him, bro. Oh, this is spicy. All right, man. Hold on. Any last words, guys?
Nah, that's it. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I got to go to class soon. Actually, not class. I got to go to meeting at 9:30. But thanks, Crush, for having me on. I'm going to get you on. I'm going to have that panel with, like, more creators next time. I just didn't have a lot of people showing up because I kind of did tell them until, like, last minute. But I'll get more people in here. Appreciate you showing up, bro.
All right, bro. Anytime, bro.
This is a good show.
Yeah.
I'm out. See you, man.